think we're actually live. Welcome everyone, day 2 of the draft. You guys wanted it. You guys asked for it, not me. I was probably not going to do this, but you guys seem to enjoy last night's stream, so we'll do the same thing. I'm going to be more of an observer today, though, to be honest, because I'm not really as familiar with the second round than obviously the first round. But regardless, it shouldn't really matter too. Well, it shouldn't matter too much, I guess. Who we got in chat? Why are people saying day 3? I've seen 2 people already say day 3. There isn't a day 3. There has never been a day 3. Just like last night, let me put it up on the screen as well. So I know people probably who subscribed from last night would want to see the same thing today.
It's an impressive mark.
Sensational grab from
Joe Berry thinks every other gets inside out. Was being over the ball. Another Donami
Okay.
his way through. Sid Draper.
Don't know it's too loud.
How about that? Let's go. Run over Kako. Couldn't have did it any better. Josh Smiley.
You hear it now.
We know you can't win premierships in
Try and
November.
shuck
But
it
the
up.
journey to the next one begins now.
There we go. If we get, look, I don't care. We got copyright music last time. I don't really care. I always seem to get the same shit.
Was one to remember with the Tigers dominating the first round.
What I'm going to do as well, for the people wondering, I've got a little legend on the bottom left. And I'm going to highlight each respective pick based on the colour of whether or not they're a defender, midfielder, forward or ruckman. Just for the people that might be a little less familiar with everyone.
Of the AFL draft, our experts Mick Ablett and Kevin Sheen are here. We're ready to do it all again. Shifter last night.
You really hope you pick up
pretty
Shanahan?
Amazing to see 27 young.
Yeah, I was reading an article about Essendon wanting to do so, but
glory days,
we've
aren't
got
they?
pick
And weren't they
39.
celebrated brilliantly. A few disappointment around the edges, that's
Or am I
normal, but
fucked?
new
Actually,
opportunities
wait.
bob up tonight.
No, pick 37 and pick 39.
Maybe players will have their names.
Saints will
called
definitely get a
out and,
midfielder.
their dreams will come
Richmond,
true as
How many nominated this year?
maybe
well.
your
It was,
ruck.
1,044.
Wow.
Bulldogs.
The special chosen few.
Who would
So,
they-
Mick, we picked
what
things
would
up
they
at
need?
28.
Key defender?
At the moment, Richmond has that pick.
Maybe.
Yep.
Or will they?
But there should be like a
I've
little
certainly received a lot of feedback
board
around,
that shows us
the
who's
Isaac
left,
Kako,
because I don't know who's still left.
Comments and the Essendon moving pick 9 and the like, and there was a lot of chatter around the fact that the bid definitely would have come. I've done my
Yeah, it's a last
research
draft
and,
night, unless for
I'm
whatever
confident
reason it
to say
isn't,
that he
because
wouldn't
everyone's
have
been
bid
saying
on
there's a
prior
day
pick
3,
9,
but I
look,
wouldn't be
think
streaming
Essendon have
tomorrow
got
if there's a
great
day 3
opportunity
anyways.
tonight
There wouldn't
to
be.
square
There
the
doesn't
ledger.
need to be.
I think
this is going to be a lot
future
quicker.
First pick that they've got from the Melbourne Footy Club.
I've also
I'd be
got a
putting that
second
on the
board,
table
so
to the
when we move
Tigers
to
and seeing if I
picks
could get back
54
in,
onwards as
maximise
well.
what's still there. We talk about
What do you think
Joe
about
Shanahan,
Stars?
Jack
My
Whitlock,
dad's really fucking
and then
pissed
still
off
walk
that we
away from
selected
the
2
2024
defenders,
draft with
but
2
I'm pretty sure
first-round picks.
Let's recap what
Travaglia,
happened last night
he'll
with round
soon
one.
move
Shifted,
into the
there were a
midfield
few
from what I've been
surprises, a few
hearing, and
bolters amongst
you
this
do need a
27.
defender.
Well, there were. I
That-
love that.
I
but
think the
love
best
that
key defender in the
Sandringham
draft class,
Dragons, Levi
he'll
Ashcroft went at 5.
be one
They
of
had
our
7
our
of
best
the
players soon.
27.
Extraordinary.
His battle's
One
gone, and
club.
Howard
That's
won't
an
be there for that
amazing
long.
effort. It was the midfield draft early, the top 10. 8
Tonight goes until
midfielders,
pick 50. No, there's
punctuated a
more.
bit by Toby Travaglia at St Kilda.
I have another
Against St
graphic
Kilda's
as well,
Alex
but I'll
Tarui.
add it
He was the
when it's
one
relevant to
bowler
add it.
that come from left field to make his way into that top 10.
Very Victorian heavy as well. All right, we're going to have a look at the players
this it?
remaining on the draft
Yeah,
board,
look,
and
there's
there is
still-
some top-end talent still
Brisbane have a
available.
pick 99, but we know they're not going to
Particularly
use it, but I think it's going to go a bit
Yeah,
longer.
it's surprising, wasn't it? When
I don't
we
know how
saw
long
the
it's going to
likes
go
of
till tonight, because I was
Jack
thinking if this
Whitlock,
is just
Joe
boring
Shanahan,
and I'm like not
the best
really
ruckman in
excited,
the
or I
comp
could
in,
end early,
Alex Dodson. So, you know, when there's
like
that
every other
level
person that
of
streamed the
elite
draft
talent
last
still
night
left
did,
on the
because they
board,
couldn't get viewers.
that's why I
But
think that
the problem
pick
is,
that
right,
Richmond currently hold.
I don't like
there's
ending
been a
streamed early, and I
multitude of
feel like
teams
that's
trying
not
to
going to
get their
happen.
hands on that
But the
because
only reason why I
in
didn't want to
previous
stream
years,
today
that
is because
talent's
I was supposed to
definitely
do something
not still sitting
tonight.
there come the start of the second night.
Well, let's head to David Zeta, who is at
But I guess if
Marvel
this goes
Stadium
well,
and
it's
has
probably
his
not
finger on the
too
pulse
bad.
because phones are ringing left, right, and centre.
Pat Kaz,
The
if I
seats are-
theoretically
will
wanted
Richmond
to
hold
end
on to
early,
pick
I can do
28?
whatever the hell I want.
That is the big question, Jonesy. Blair Hartley's phone would be ringing off the hook even after last night's draft of the first
I think
round.
I'll
even
stay
before
for
he
the
got
whole
to the
thing,
media,
though, but I'm just saying.
interview, there was still the phone was buzzing, so that's continued throughout the night and well into the morning and afternoon. So there's a fair few contenders.
Yeah, Sydney,
for
I don't know.
Job Shanahan
Who did
and
they
Jack
take?
Whitlock, the two really key players in this.
I have my other
watch.
day
Now,
one
Essendon has a
recap. Let's see.
unique
Who did they
connection
take? They
to
took
Shanahan. That's because he did play
Ned
3
Bowman.
VFL
I think
games
he was a
for them,
small.
and
I
he
think
kicked 11 goals
both
in
were
those 3
small.
games. So he was certainly someone who looked
I
like a
can
live
take another
prospect
look.
for them, and one that they would be willing to trade up for, you would imagine. You assume they've asked the question. They have asked the question. It's just a matter of whether they can get that done. But
You'll
also,
know, actually. You
Alex
know more
Dodson
than me,
for the
Al.
Cats, they're really
be
keen on
honest.
him as well. So they're another option to look at heading into tonight's draft. We won't take
Crows
us long to
don't
know
have
whether
any.
Richmond
Yeah,
has traded
well, I
away
wouldn't have any
that
picks.
prize pick,
Well,
but
they
there
might
has
have later
certainly been
picks,
no
I think.
shortage of clubs clamouring for it.
But
So
I
that is well and
haven't
truly
got
the
that put up
storyline
because I know
heading
I'm going to have
into,
to move
the
them
second
around
round
when
and
there are
beyond
bids and all
of
that
draft
again.
Night number 2.
Well, we are just a few minutes away from finding out. Thank you very much to David Seaver.
Forward.
there
I had
at
a
Marvel
feeling, but
Stadium.
he's
Well,
not
the
a
AFL
tall.
clubs aren't the only
He's a smaller
ones
forward.
looking to land some fresh new talent this year here at Fox Footy.
Bowman's
We're
that
looking for our
smaller
next
forward.
big star.
And yeah, they're both small.
In
No keys.
2025,
Yeah.
the Fox Footy Super Saturday Live team.
Cancel my
is
KO
about
for
to
the
get
rest of the stream. No worries.
a lot.
Don't expect me to do this for other things though.
We're ready to
'Cause I don't think I'm allowed to do it for other things.
On-air analyst.
Dogs get some defenders. The issue is I really don't have much of an idea about the defenders remaining. Like, call me uneducated, but I've been focusing most of my attention on the day one. And this is only being a stream because you guys want to see it and you guys enjoy the fact that I showed the broadcast and all that crap.
Who do you think wins the Brownlow next year?
I don't think we'll get Shanahan all the goals.
Okay.
It looks very likely that we're going to get
If you'd like to expand on this one, maybe just a little bit more.
one of the
that'd
well,
be
the best
great.
midfielder available, I think.
Premiers season 2025.
I think we
Who have you got
definitely
winning the big one?
Want one? Unless Shanahan is a midfielder, but I'm assuming he's not.
Don't know.
Yeah, he's the forward. He's that key that the Bombers
Dustin
are wanting.
Martin might not be our next on-air analyst right now, but you
Yeah.
could be.
Well, Sammy says that
The KO
Essendon will get him.
is a nationwide search
I
for
thought
the
it was going
next
first
Fox
round. That's the
Footy
thing. I thought they
star.
were going to pick him up first round.
There is a paid on-air role and
John will get some random
mentorship
gem. Well, they've
up
got
for
the latest
grabs
pick.
during our
They've got the latest
2025
first pick.
Super Saturday coverage.
They've got fifth. They've got pick 40. No, no,
Buy now
Collingwood
via the
do.
website. Get on board.
Pick 42. It's a long argument. You just know they're going to get someone
mate.
good. Do I
What
think Port
an
will
incredible opportunity
Not sure,
to
mate,
join the
'cause I
Fox
actually don't know
Footy
much
on-air
about that.
team. I would have loved an opportunity like this when I was a
Amazing.
youngster mix. So make sure you get your video
But I can
and your
actually
100
take a
words
look.
in applications close on December 11th. All right, we're going to head now inside Carlton's war room last night. The Brains
Could have
Trust
started a
that
bit later,
come
actually.
together on draft night to decide
Oh yeah, Dodson's
who
that.
exactly
I
is
think
going
they
to be
probably
Navy
should
Blue, and
actually.
They've been kind enough to let us be a fly
I
on
think
the
they
wall
should,
in
but
their
they're pick
discussions.
33, so maybe they might. I think they'll get him actually. I think they will get him.
Jackie rated one, and we think he's the best
Them,
one.
it's like they're cramming in before exam day, just cramming a bit of information on who he. And Camporelli will go to Carlton.
Milo, but a lolly. Did you have them as a kid?
It just should be there isn't an updated website that tells us the power rankings for day 2 from after last night.
How long have we wanted Jackie for? The second we got
I
to
should do
three,
the
that
KO
was-
call up. Yeah, that'd be cool. So I'm sure there'll be thousands and thousands of candidates that it's not going to
Pick 3, Carlton select
even be worth trying.
Jagger Smith from the Oakleigh Chargers and the Richmond Junior.
I know the Crows are getting, yeah, but the Crows, who are they getting? Well,
Far out. Wait, what am I? Clean, smart, step. Well, wait. It's,
yeah, that's going to happen early though.
as good as it could have gone, that.
Thoughts on? Well, I'm actually happy he's not in Melbourne, to be honest. If he's in Melbourne on the Saturday or the Sunday, I have got I want to go with a couple other people, or even if it's just me. I was watching a good hour and a half to 2 hours of the stream. Just when I got back, because I was too tired to really do anything, so I just put it on whilst doing something.
Because business doesn't stop.
And I
And
reckon
neither do you.
it isn't that difficult to get his attention if you're not a fuckwit.
Cards for businesses
Get there,
on the
get there
grow.
early before the
That's the
swarm,
powerful backing of
and I might get him
American
to like,
Express.
I might give him like a Saints Guernsey to wear, maybe, and like bring like
we're
handball over a
panicking
footy,
over
get
a
him to like
lost
try an
player.
AFL. That would be kind of cool.
Why are we
But I'm not saying that I will do that, but I'm just thinking that would actually go viral.
Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
Not viral as in like worldwide viral, but viral in terms of the AFL space.
Extra swagger. Taking
Of course
healthy
you go, Sammy.
to soaring new heights. Making a dinner that makes their whole day.
Yeah, it was
And giving
entertaining.
your best
It always
friend
is.
The best nutrients for their best life.
I watched, yeah, good portion of it, to be honest.
Science did that.
I was going to upload today, but I got home at like 12:15, and I was thinking, I'm going to release a really shit video if I did that. And I just wanted to catch up on a bit of sleep, so after the stream I just had a nap.
Energy. Crunch it up, slurp it up, mix it up.
So I'm probably going to stay up a bit late tonight and get a draft video out.
Up to 50% off big brand barbecues.
I've got to get back on the uploads,
barbecue
which I
accessories
will.
and backyard essentials, and up
I
to
will do that.
50% off outdoor furniture and heating. Hurry, don't miss out. Only at Barbecues Galore.
I can try that,
While you
but
spend your time
trying it
making
won't
this
guarantee
Christmas a
shit.
classic, we'll take care of the groceries with Woolworths free direct to boot.
Good to go, Santa?
What about that dick that
And you
broke
too,
the hat?
Rudolph.
Saw that live, actually. Yeah. It's mob mentality.
This
People
is
just
Simon.
do shit
when
for the
asked what
sake
he
of
did
it.
over the weekend, he'll say, nothing special. Is hanging out with your favourite people nothing special?
They do that sort
And
of
is
shit
pub
thinking that
style
they're
chips
entitled to do
nothing
that just
special?
because, oh, you know,
Simon?
that guy's
Okay,
famous.
There's something
Doesn't matter.
special about nothing special.
Meet the Shark
Sam
Power
Layla or
Detect.
Finn
When
O'Sullivan?
you have a shark, you're ready for any test.
Who I think's
every
better?
mess, every direction, forward and reverse.
I
and when
actually
you're
think
done, just leave the
O'Sullivan's
dirty
got
work
more
behind.
upside.
Shark Power Detect, the smarter choice in cordless cleaning.
But don't ask me. Ask like Cal Toomey. You'll know more. If we get to 41.9k tonight, then we're really close to 42k. That'd be kind of good to get soon.
Be ready to lend at Mate Your Keys.
Because I don't get many
With Allianz Comprehensive
1,000
Car
interval
Insurance,
subscriber
they're
milestones
covered, the same as you.
during the off season.
Get your quote today. Ah, Allianz.
Get a phenomenal 3.9% finance rate and 2k cash back on select Nissan variants
Phenomenal.
of the X-Trail,
Wow, what a
Qashqai,
finance
and the
rate,
Navara
guys.
dual cab pickup 4x4 range. Get into your Nissan dealer phenomenally
I'm gonna
fast.
check the stream to see if the thingamajigs.
And to the Australian
People
market,
want me to sign up for that
Suzuki
KO
Vitaras now
commentator
cost
thing.
less than baby
What
spinach.
would you actually have to
per
do to
kilo,
sign up though? That's
due
the
to the
thing.
market forces of the Suzuki plate clearance.
Can
Severe
anyone
Delacorte.
sign up?
It is a surprising
Because let's be
trend,
real, if they're
given
going to
the
be
fact
biased
that you
and pick
can't
people, they're
even
not going to
drive
pick me.
spinach.
Indeed, and the Suzuki
I'm gonna
Vitara
turn down
certainly
the,
won't hide
desktop
behind
audio
your
a little bit.
nougat, quietly wilting.
There's just one place to go.
Didn't realise it was that loud. And I know people probably don't want to hear me talk, but I am not going to sit here and stream if that's the case. Surely add me on Fortnite, we can play sometime. I'm not going to do it now. I think Friday night I'm going to probably do that for members.
Famous last-minute goal, winning goal to win the
I can't really do it for too long, I wouldn't think.
Through the last couple of minutes, how it eventuated.
Yeah, so Baker to goal.
Haven't had a good look at some of these highlights from this game.
I thought it was calling to come off because I've hurt my knee. And I could barely
When's this meant to start? I don't know. That's the thing that's annoying. I really could have just waited.
So I was just hobbling down forward and then the adrenaline kicked in. And next thing I know, Jagger got the clearance.
I think we got our good pick for Stringer, but there's better in this pick today.
Free kick.
Looks like you guys want Shanahan.
50 was 4, but yeah, I'll take it. Looked up at the clock and it was nearly 25.
I might not stream tomorrow, but if I stream, I'll stream at night.
And just put it through.
Thoughts on the Whitlocks missing their graduation for draft day too? Didn't know about that. But look, let's be honest with you, you'd probably do the same thing if you were going to be drafted. Thank you, JGs. Yeah, I watched his stream.
We had with Luke last night. congratulations to him.
I always
A few
stream
more
the footage for the
young
draft.
stars are joining us via Zoom right around the country. They're all very nervously watching on. Hello, everyone. I know you're all desperate for us to begin, so we might head to Laura Kane at Marvel Stadium so we can get things underway with number 2 in the rounds of this 2024 National.
I definitely didn't watch any of this shit last year.
On behalf of the AFL,
I didn't care at all about the day
to
2.
acknowledge the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, the traditional owners of the land on which we meet today, and pay respects to their elders past and present.
So Essendon should trade away their own
We
pick
acknowledge
rather
that
than
we
Melbourne's
play
if
our
they
great
trade up.
game on this land and respect the cultures of all First Peoples, their contribution to our nation and their contribution.
So how do you reckon if Essendon want to trade up? How do you reckon they'll do that?
Round 2 of the 2024.
Might as well ask an Essendon
Telstra
fan because they should
AFL
probably know more.
draft starts now. The Richmond Football Club, you are now on the clock.
Okay, looks like 7:50. All right, we're good that we're in already. For the people that missed the day one, I want to quickly have a little look at what happened. This was just the recap.
What do they need with this pick?
Oh, we're already... Are you serious that the internal temp's already too high? It's actually...
Future first
I
round
don't
pick
need
as
that.
well, so they're definitely going to have 2 in the first round next year. So
it's
this
actually
could be
concerning.
Just a bit of a cherry on top. Do they potentially
I'll be
go
back.
for the ruckman, knowing that Toby Nankervis is in the back end of his career? I think that'd probably be an option for them, or do they just go next best and potentially go with a Shanahan or a Whitlock shifter?
Yeah, I think that, or they think trade. Do I then maximise it by looking to next year? We've got 7 brilliant young players, well-credentialed young boys coming into our club. Is that enough? Can we get more for next year? The build might be over 2 or 3 years for the Tigers, so that's what they'd weigh up. And they've had 24 hours to weigh it up. There's no doubt they would have had
I guess when it's summer, it's going to happen a lot, even though the lights always make it hot regardless.
Shifter, how important is it to maximise these top picks at the moment before Tasmania enters the draft?
Yeah, well, we're not quite sure of the entry rules for Tassie.
The quality's bad again.
Some of the best talent in a few years' time. So this is the time to look at the very best.
Can barely see the bloody list of the Fox Footy Lab rank.
Right in front of us.
Fox Footy, yeah, rankings.
That are all Australians next to their names. They've performed this year.
Great, and they've gotten rid of it.
To playing then the future
Richmond needs.
the year after.
Who's in the chat that actually goes for Richmond? Who are you guys looking at? Because you've got one more pick pretty much.
That they're going to receive. I think the thing we sometimes overlook as well, you've then got to take into consideration NGA academies.
Well, Zay, believe it or not, it's sort of based around teams that finish lower on the ladder. If you finish last, unless you trade away your picks, you will finish with the first pick of every round.
So we saw last night Matt Whitlock taken at pick number 27 to North Melbourne. That was the final pick of the evening.
Matt Whitlock, you mean Jack Whitlock?
Jack is still on the table. Some really difficult moments.
It's hard to pass up Jack Whitlock, to be honest.
We are sure that Jack will be scooped up tonight. No doubt at all about that shifter, but.
It'd kind of be funny if he didn't get picked up, though. Not for him, but like theoretically, it would kind of be funny.
You might be the majority of clubs, but the way the draft works, it's one club that needs to.
Well, if any new viewers are here, we're trying to hit 41.9 thousand subs.
It's one club that has the call, and
when is your video coming today? I haven't got a video coming today. Did I say I'd get a video? I said I tried to, but it was always going to be a bit late for that.
It was the brother that the twin brother.
Oh, Blue Abroad have their power rankings up on screen. That's actually really cool.
Enormous talent, 200 centimetre key form.
So Shanahan's the best rated player still left. Dodson's the second best. He is that ruck, isn't he? He's that ruck that I think Port Adelaide seem to want.
Terrific natural leap. So when he gets up at that absolute height.
We might actually put that up there to have a little look. Thank you, Blue Abroad.
As a player as well.
Can you do a $1 ticket in every stadium next? No, not every stadium.
These boys are going to take a little bit of time. So he's one of them.
I think I'll continue the $1 series because they always seem to be a banging series on the YouTube just in general. But maybe for other things like $1 footy, $1 footy boots. What else could I do? $1 Guernsey maybe? Timu Guernsey? Probably not. I actually could go down to Andy Munro's place and find the most expensive Guernsey he has and see the differences. $1.
That's all exciting.
Richmond keeping everyone on
Oh
the
no,
edge of their seats.
$1 footy. Nah, you can't get a footy feed for $1.
This one out. They're taking every minute on the clock here to decide what they're doing.
I don't really know why they're taking so long when they're the first team on the board. They have all the time in the world freaking in the last day. So that doesn't make sense to me why they're taking so long.
Prospects in it. So you need to be able to assess the depth, but also these added complications and permutations.
Yeah,
Motocross
Flips and Tricks has just donated $1 Australian through Super Chat.
Thank you.
To the draft being uncompromised for a considerable period of time, but it's exciting.
I'm not going to turn up too much more, otherwise it's just a bit too loud.
Into the competition, but you know, you look at those brains in the room there with the Richmond recruiting group, and they've got their work cut out for them, the clubs, and I admire now.
I know that.
List managers
I know he is.
And national recruiting managers.
I already said if he goes to Melbourne, which I think he will, I've got an idea.
There are so many different machinations, so many different variations they've got to take into account when they're looking to build a list over, you know, a 2, 3, 4 year period.
Can they ask for a time extension still, Shifter? Is that rule still in play? Because the clock has run down there on Richmond.
If they keep fucking doing this time extension crap, we're going to be here literally all night. We are... I think this is going to go for longer than the first day, considering there'll be more picks.
Which there was a lot of talk, Mick, about trading. We know that the Bombers, there'd been...
You've also got an idea.
Geelong as well, but they've held this pick. Let's see who it is.
With pick 28, Richmond have selected Thomas Sims from the Northern Knights and the Montmorency Football
Didn't
Club.
go for the Whitlock.
So Shifter
Thomas Sims. I have
and a bit of a
I definitely do know the name.
And he's got a great mentor. His coach.
Is he that ruckman guy that I was talking about earlier?
This boy emerged this year. In one game, he kicked 7 as a tall forward. Looked like he could be anything.
No, he's a key forward. All right, well we're through for the first pick finally. And what I'll do, right? Key forward is what colour is key forward? Yellow. So I'm going to make the colour yellow.
10 or 15 picks, and he was one of them.
Can't really distinguish between key or not, but it doesn't matter. It's a forward.
Look at their picks already. Fall, Armstrong and Sims. They are all very tall and
They've got a few forwards now.
Yeah, they are, and I liken Thomas Sims a little bit to a Todd Marshall Shifter. I just really like his ability to create separation from his opponent. He's got a well-rounded athletic profile. I mean, he's 8.14 second in the agility, ran 8th there. So
I wonder what his favourite game would be to play.
Move laterally and show that sort of, speed off the mark, I think is really impressive.
Couldn't be Sims, could it?
So we've got the Western Bulldogs on the clock next with pick number 29 in the draft. So they've picked up Cooper Hines already in this draft. We know in recent years they've been able to snare some unbelievable top-end tall talent mix. So there is a need for some smalls, for some midfielders.
Bulldogs are next.
More dynamic mix.
How many do we have in chat? We have 252. I couldn't imagine we'd beat last night's incredible run of 1,000, but even if we get like half of that, I'm happy. Get a few new subs.
Start to think of rebounding half-backs, potentially wing types and the like that can add a little bit of polish on the outside because they've got some greats in Tom Liberatore.
Alrighty, Bulldogs. This is actually an important pick for them. Still some good talent left available.
So I think some outside class and polish is what the Dogs would be after.
So we can see there, Shifted, the team that
surely they don't need another midfielder.
For weeks and months, but years. How long do they assess a group for? Is it about 3 years? You're looking at a particular draft group?
All right, they've. I think they've just got their pick.
29, the Western Bulldogs have selected.
Why is my fucking?
Lockie Jakes from the Geelong Falcons.
Why is my draft board thing not updating?
A rebounding defender who loves to take it on.
Yeah,
what have I done? Maybe I've made a mistake.
Who'll become a teammate. Amazing. Yeah, he is that
Great.
type of
Okay.
player, very smooth moving.
All right, that's
great
why.
Decision maker. Won the best and fairest, which at the Geelong Falcons, which was just recently. Just
I didn't save it.
On the top of being an All-Australian during the year, just reads the angles so brilliantly. A great.
That's all right. I'll just fix that.
From half back.
Who they get? Lockie Jakes.
With those All-Australian
Defender.
Another one where clubs have gone for
yes, Blaze is happy.
Highest level consistently at club and at national championship level. He's a boy of about 185 centimetres. He'll grow to be
Why is it not updating?
That he currently is a lightly built boy, but gee, he's composed, his ball
Why?
use
What
is
have I
exceptional.
fucking done?
Yeah, love his ability to press up off half-back. He plays that come
Why would I do
forward role
BBL
really
predictions?
well, which is a modern
I
breed
don't
of
see the
those
concept of
rebounding
BBL
halfback
predictions.
types at
They're
AFL
just
level now.
boring.
I think he's at his best when he's higher up the ground, and I also like his ability to be able to play a hybrid role. So he can play on that third tall. He can also play on a small. And
Oh, I know exactly the
I
issue.
think Sammy Power's done a fantastic job in balancing the list that he's got. And as we said,
I know exactly the issue. Get rid of that.
You can see the co-captain for the
Get rid of
Geelong
that.
Falcons. We know leadership is a strong point. So what a great opportunity for a youngster to go to the Western Bulldogs and learn off one of the greatest leaders in the game, in the skipper Marcus Bonte.
All right, now I need to fix that. So Lockie Jakes, we got a defender. There we go.
Ahead of him as we look at the West Coast
BBL
Eagles,
channel.
on the clock at pick 30, shifted a pick up on the
You
point
wouldn't
we
want to be a
made before.
BBL
How
channel.
many years are selectors looking at a particular group of players for? Is it about 3, their 16, 17, 18th year?
Yes, and we talked a little bit about it yesterday. So post-COVID now they've had that chance at least because we've had full seasons now, full national championships.
So this is the first
Oh,
draft
someone's
post-
spamming me for God's
a
sakes.
complete look at
3-year
them.
look. The under
Just like
16, 17s
scoops.
and 18s. Not every boy is there at under 16 level. About half the draft are there though. So you've got a great handle on them over the distance. And other boys bob up in their 17th or 18th year. And of course some come in when they're 19, 20, right through to their mid-20s. But the majority have started on the national stage.
All right, West Coast are next.
Half of them have started on the national stage at under 16 level.
Was
That's
pick 3
why
for
they
Liam
have,
Bacon, Matt
scouts
Owies,
that
and
really
pick
do watch
16 a
that
good
closely,
trade.
watch the futures closely, and then top it off with
For
the
who?
way they've unfolded in
Because
their
I think
18th year.
the big winners would
So
be
we've got Bo
the
Allen
Blues.
already drafted to the West Coast Eagles.
Yeah,
That
they get
happened
Jagger
last night
Smith
for
out of all
Logan
that.
Boy. What do you think they need? We've identified a general defender and key defender at the moment with where West Coast
Oh,
are at,
this
it
is
feels like
just
they
shit.
need
This
talent.
graphic is just
Yeah,
crap.
they certainly do, Sarah. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Job Shanahan.
What I'm going to do now,
When you think of what their forward stocks are like, you know, Jake Waterman.
this isn't going to
Oscar
work.
Allen,
All
when
right,
he
this
gets
is what
back
I'll
fit
do.
and Firing, I think they could do with a young developing forward.
Not going to work.
And I mean, the fact that Job Shanahan is still on the board is
Give me
quite
a second.
remarkable.
This is crap.
We saw Bo Allen slide through to the Eagles last night in a very, very happy list management group, as they should be. I think if they could get another one in Job Shanahan and address a need inside.
They reckon
forward
West Coast
50,
are going to get Shanahan, which would be funny because that'll piss Sammy off a lot.
Satisfied.
Both Whitlock and Shanahan very highly rated by our Fox ratings, but generally in all the phantom drafts and all the different drafts we see in discussion, they've been right up there. So
have you missed any
it is a
picks?
surprise to see
Why are we
the
looking at
Cats are gonna
a
get a steal at this
blurry...
point.
Yeah, they are, and that's the nature of such an even, talented draft.
With pick 30, West Coast have selected Job Shanahan.
Sucked in Sammy! Sucked in Samuel Gebbett. Shanahan's at the Eagles.
West and similar territory to Harley Reid and also Noah Long, so some familiar faces from the Echuca Moama region there.
Yeah, and
Looks fine to me. It's fine now, but I've had to
Harley went to school.
fix something.
With Harley Reid at
Because when we get to the second round, then we can't have it rotate. But you know what? It probably doesn't matter too much.
We mentioned the 11 for Essendon in the VFL, but playing for the Allies, for the Pioneers, he had a wonderful year in my view.
And this makes it a lot easier as well, actually. So I'm actually not too disappointed with that. Saints are actually up soon, so I just want a mid. I just want a mid. That's all I freaking care about. Let's be honest.
When you're at Moama coming down to India, it might only be down there once a week or so. So there'll be tremendous football development in
Well, that shit says Sammy. I don't know why you really thought that you'd get him when you were pick 37, as if no other club would have wanted him. That's what I was thinking, but
It just hangs that little bit longer. His length is.
Yeah, no, I was right.
He's got an innate ability to take the footy at its highest point. So, as you say, Shifter, he's tasted footy at VFL level, and he is an absolute steal, Sarah. So they're on fire at the minute, the West Coast Eagles. They've had a very, very nice start tonight too after a successful night one.
who do they
And
get?
he's been able to play senior football
Was it
locally
Bo Allen? Yeah, they got
at
Bo
Moama
Allen and
last year,
Shanahan.
so maybe
Yeah, pretty good
Stu
from
as
West
a
Coast.
15-year-old. So it's always nice when you've got a player who has that
The mids are
senior
ordinary. Why
experience
get
against
mids if
men.
they suck?
Definitely.
No.
I've been fortunate enough to get a first-hand look at it, and you know, as much as I
No,
thought
no,
it
that's
was,
not true. There's still
you
a
know,
couple of
that
decent
playing
ones
against
left.
those big, mature physical bodies. It's just as
Do you
much
think
about
no one else is
moving
going to
the
pick up a
game and
midfielder?
when
The,
it's being
the
played
Saints
like
aren't
at
going to pick
state
up another
level. You
defender.
mentioned even country level, that's that ability to play
And
against
Shanahan's
your own men,
gone.
but at state league
Unless
level,
we go
it's
a
the
ruckman,
terminology, the way the game's played, and
which I wouldn't
just to get
hate,
that
but
insight for these young fellas,
I'd like a midfielder.
just make that transition so much easier when they get to an AFL club.
Great kick for goal as well. So
Yeah, unless we get a
congratulations
ruckman.
to Job Shanahan headed west to the Eagles. The next pick.
But I've been hearing
is
that's not going to
number
happen.
31, and it is the Western Bulldogs.
Saints
who are
bold
on the
bid,
clock,
bid
and
to
they're having
land.
a little bit of a busy patch in tonight's draft. What are they looking? Oh, here we go. The pick's in.
With pick 31, the Western Bulldogs have selected Josh
Okay, no, we
from
are
the
actually probably going to get
Dragons
Dodson,
and
I
the
think.
Morris Junior Football Club.
I think we might be getting Dodson.
Dolans is in the Brent Daniels mould, I'm told.
Actually, you're probably not wrong. If we do just pick up like LDU somehow, then we probably don't need to worry about midfielders too much. And a ruckman's certainly someone we wouldn't need. Josh Dolan is the Bulldogs' next pick.
For Sandy, so it was the 8th Sandy boy. But going back, I looked at his testing earlier.
Are we picking up more?
So he's very sharp. He's 2.92 seconds for 20.
Yeah, that doesn't really make sense. But I think
there's another test that they do now early in the
Travaglia
year.
will become a midfielder for anyone who might be a little bit worried about the overhaul of
fantastic athlete, and I know a great
midfielders.
teammate.
Oh, defenders, sorry. My dad was really pissed off though. He like fucking got really mad at me when I walked downstairs. I'm like, just calm down. It's not as bad as you think, mate.
That is an amazing statistic. Congratulations to Sandringham and the amount of development that is being done there. Skill and creativity is so important. Clean hands and shifter to be a good decision maker.
Shifter.
That must be something recruiters really focus on, to have that composure.
So we're 4 picks in and we haven't seen a mid yet. Maybe the mids aren't that good.
Fast twitch fibers come into it a little bit with your movement, but it's your brain speed to make.
You're probably not going to get the superstar though at this rate. Very rare to get a superstar midfielder, but you can still get quite a solid, I reckon, defender at this range of the draft. All right, pickers in. Are we going to get the ruckman? I think we are. Let's see.
West Coast recruiter might have had a little bit more of an insight into Josh Dolan being a Bo Morris boy.
So we've got the St Kilda Football Club.
I've literally
number 32
be quite surprised actually now.
On speed and on
No, we don't have a pick until round 5 complete match fixing.
I mean, it's hard to believe that Jack Whitlock is still on the table.
Jack Whitlock actually.
And there's plenty of height.
Yeah,
in the draft
we could get Jack
so,
Whitlock.
You know, the loss of Tim Membry. Here we go. We're about to
Let's
find
see. I reckon Whitlock or
Pick
Dodson.
32, St Kilda have selected James Barrett from the Bendigo Pioneers
What the hell?
and the Leachville
Is he a mid?
Junior Football Club.
Who the hell is this guy?
Congratulations.
Why are we going another key defender?
Gumbauer and the Bendigo Pioneers started the year as a forward, 18 goals in 6
Fuck
matches,
me,
and can
Rossline.
also swing into defence.
Yeah, you take up the opportunity when they bob up, and Vic Country were looking for that tall defender, and that's where he got his chance and showed that he can handle that role, and of course now becomes a swing man, a guy that's able to play at both ends and be effective with his great marking. That's his real weapon.
Rossline can't be that stupid though. There has to be a reason behind this.
So he's had a fantastic year at that level.
James Barrett, another Bendigo Pioneers player as well, I think.
3.01 for the
Or was it an? Yeah, no, I think another second.
I love it, not just for
Well, I really wasn't expecting that. I'm not gonna lie.
He competed brilliantly in that. So
Well, defenders galore here. We've literally picked up 3.
here, and James Barrett was one of those.
He's a beautiful kick of the footy too, isn't he, Shifter? For a guy,
Look, I don't. He might be a great guy, but we don't need
really nice speed
so
over
many.
20 metres,
Surely.
which give him, you know, the ability to go and play in defence and not let opposition forwards get off the
Okay, let me just
leash.
update that
So
then.
on
So
the
it's
flip
James
side,
Barrett.
It'll also cause some headaches for opposition defenders if he's inside forward 50 and manages to find some space on the lead.
And another boy, just a couple of days.
Another defender. Maybe we won't take our academy play. That just doesn't make sense. All the goals has just made it even more confusing. All right, Porter next. So I think they're wanting to get Dodson. They need a
The
ruckman.
support for them
He's from
shifter is
SA.
so much better than what it's been in the past. These young men have wonderful football clubs and support systems around them to make sure they are coping with school, but also
Because I'd also
pressures
feel
that
like a
come with
forward would be
wanting to be
handy
drafted.
as well.
Yeah, it's a massive few years for all.
And a
of them.
ruckman.
Scrutiny is enormous these days, but the rewards are great for those that do persevere and get there. The chance to go into a full-time job.
All right, well, people can shit on the Saints so much now, but we don't actually know. What if in 5 years' time these are all key pillars to our premiership football side?
These are special times for them to get selected.
I guess defence wins your premierships.
Third defender
But,
that
yeah.
St Kilda have picked up. I mean, officially called defenders, a lot of them can swing into.
Because we
the
still have
midfield
better
if the need
defences in the
be.
league, I still
Yeah,
think.
they are. And again, I mean, Saints fans, you look at Travalia and obviously Taru last night. I am so excited to watch these two boys go about it. The way they
Well, I am as well.
play off each other is quite remarkable. And I was in awe watching them play at the Under-18 Championships. And, you know,
Only if you can at least score 11 goals.
Very, very versatile. So they're still.
Well, I was talking to Max King at the function the other day, and I probably shouldn't have told him that he was my pick for the Coleman.
And Peter Allen,
But
another great
he was my
person
pick
in
for the Coleman,
football that,
and he got injured.
You know, she's doing marvellous things at the St Kilda Football Club too.
So the Port
I'd love to
Adelaide
hear
Football Club
what
are
Scoops' thoughts are on that, actually, on 3 defenders.
In the draft again, Dodson is another player that we suspect
Anyone else
would have been
think
picked up a little earlier. A very athletic ruckman.
I can't believe that channel wasn't hidden already.
Soon.
Yeah, so Port Adelaide jumped up, and apologies for the confusion last night.
Whitlock still hasn't been picked up.
Fremantle had the pick before Port Adelaide, where in fact it was the other way around. But I think Port
I mean,
Adelaide
that
would have known
was
that
the best
Fremantle
key
had a genuine
defender
interest
available, I
in
guess.
Joe Berry.
But that is a bit surprising.
And I reckon they've jumped
still
in with
a bit
West Coast
surprised.
to get that deal done last night.
Anyway,
to
Port up
prevent
next.
Fremantle doing the same thing. Now, as it turns out, we know Fremantle got their man in Murphy Reid, but
What do you think of
Port
Melbourne
Adelaide
Demons'
desperately
low-scoring
wanted to get
game
Joe
style?
Berry,
It's shit and
that's how
outdated.
the West Coast deal unfolded, and saw West Coast pick up pick 45 on top.
So what are they going for here? What's their need that they're looking to draft? I mean, we mentioned Dodson before. He is.
Port do not need a
Australian,
midfielder.
So the local
They do
boy
not need
there
a
as
midfielder.
ruck, whether that's part of their planning or not. The forward, obviously.
Port
Jack
does need a
Whitlock
ruckman as
is
we have 3.
The one that we're all still looking at.
Yeah, but I've
There's
been
still
hearing a lot of
midfield
people
depth
think he'll
on
get.
the
They'll
board, isn't there,
try and
Shooter?
go for the
I still
SA
think
ruckman
terrific
Dodson.
players,
And
the need is the taller
your ruckmen
player.
aren't
Is it a Dobson
that
or a
good.
Whitlock at this point? They're rare beasts, to be quite honest.
Who are your
To be
3
playing
ruckmen anyway?
in the
Sweet.
30s.
Soldo, he's going to go.
With pick
Vicentini, he's
33,
not that
Port
great.
Adelaide have selected Jack Whitlock
Okay.
from the Murray Bushrangers.
Yeah, you go.
with
You
Shepparton
do take
Football
Whitlock. I
Netball
feel like
Club.
he should have probably been selected a bit earlier, but I don't know if he's too happy about going to
Such
Adelaide.
happy scenes there at the
Looks like
Shepparton
he's happy
Bears
in that
Football Club, and
division
what a
there.
relief, I'm sure, for Jack Whitlock, who saw his twin
Okay,
brother
well, let's see
Matt
what
taken with the final pick in last
What
night's
Zay has to
draft,
say
and
about that.
tonight, at an absolute steal, pick number 33 going to the Port Adelaide Football
I
Club.
thought we were actually going to take one, but I probably read the wrong article.
Sarah, and congratulations
I'm just
to
surprised.
Jack Whitlock. I mean, not that he needed any motivation, but gee whiz, to get out to
They
pick
played this
33,
same song
reckon he'd
last
get to work
night.
pretty quick, and
They don't need to play this song again.
doubt is wrong, but look, I think with the loss of Cleary being delisted, Charlie Dixon going into retirement, there wasn't.
Is he? He's a forward, yeah.
This one slipped through, and it'd be like Christmas for the Port Adelaide.
Yeah, he
Club.
is.
He's got an outstanding football brain, Jack Whitlock, and for a guy of that size shifter.
Well, according to the
ability to work in the
commentator,
phone box.
this is like
His
Christmas.
hands are exceptional in tight. He's got great awareness, and at 200 centimetres, what more could you ask for?
They're not interviewing the plays anymore, actually, so this might take a lot quicker than I thought.
Perseverance over the 24 hours or so, but what a relief
They aren't
for
doing the
Angela and
interviews
Paul,
anymore.
parents of the twins. They've seen them both
Probably,
realise their dream
in
of
a way, a
getting into
good
the
thing.
AFL and are in different parts of
Draft
Australia.
sound. Yeah, well, they always play the
Follow them in their football development over the
songs
next
that are
couple of
always
years, but a very
popular at the
exciting
moment on the
prospect.
radio.
Let's chat to
I don't
Jack
hate those
right
songs.
now.
It's just
Jack
they're
Whitlock,
probably
you
not
are a
draft
Port
songs.
Adelaide Football Club
Oh no,
player.
they
How
are
you
interviewing
feeling,
him.
mate? The last
Fucking
24
contradict
hours
myself
must have
then.
been
Why don't
such
they
an
interview
emotional
Barrett?
rollercoaster.
Yeah, extremely stressful.
All right, Freo's next.
Especially with Joe Barry, one of my good mates. Yeah,
And Zay's pissed off.
Brilliant stuff. So talk us through last night. You were obviously there alongside Matt. You would have been happy for
Your
him,
forwards
but,
aren't that great, though.
disappointed,
Dixon's
I imagine.
retired, Zay.
Your
Think
name
about
didn't
it.
get called out yesterday. What were the emotions
You've got
like
Georgiades. I know
after
you
last night's draft
picked up Lukosius, but you want an actual quality key forward, and you don't have a quality key forward. Ollie Lord, I just don't have really much faith in that guy either.
So yeah, super stoked for him. Had a good night.
And you're moving interstate, so you guys will be
Georgiades is your best key.
for a while. Are you looking forward to that?
And then you got Todd Marshall, but once again, he plays like one good game in like 5.
Get out in port, yeah.
Jack, who did you model your game on? We talk about.
All right, well,
the
Freya's up
et
next.
cetera, but yourself.
Just Saints centre forward.
Who did you model?
Well, our four line's no good with. Well, actually, I'd arguably say it's better without King, but
Obviously the King boys. And,
I wouldn't say it's the best forward line.
Jack,
That's I would say definitely could get better.
We might call Matt over because he's just loitering in the background there, looking very dashing.
King needs a
in
massive year.
Shirt and tie and a bit
He
of a
really
North
does.
Melbourne jumper underneath. You're very dressed up for your brother's special night. Why the tie?
Graduation.
Oh yeah, graduation on tonight. So popped in for about 5 minutes, and I thought I'd better show up to Jack's here. So
Brilliant.
It's been unreal. So proud of him.
Brilliant.
What's with people thinking that they skip their graduation? He's still going.
Obviously, you were happy for yourself, but would have been
Graduation's
hoping
on
and wishing for your
Thursday
brother to
night.
have the same feeling tonight.
Yeah, obviously it was a bit of a roller.
All I wanted for Collingwood was to get a tall forward backman, and 6 of the last 8 picks have been key positions. Can't believe it.
Nah, unreal. So stoked for him.
They've all been key positions, yeah.
Feel like them two will have a good friendship over the next few years. So super stoked for them.
All right, we need to talk to Jack.
Keep
again
Joe
because
Richard in the
this is
sandful and
his
let
moment.
Whitlock
Jack,
play.
how are your mum and dad
Joe
doing?
Richard and
Because
Whitlock are,
I'm
are
feeling
not
for them most
same
in the
position
last,
players.
24 hours. I think every parent would have been.
Yeah, nah, well, obviously a roller coaster of emotions, but Matt and I were pretty good. I wasn't too upset last night. We still had a great night, and yeah, we knew the moment was going to.
Port isn't a bad team to go to.
And you're at the Shep Football Club
I actually
at
wouldn't
the moment. I'm sure lots of local
think Adelaide would
family
be a
and
shit place to
friends
live.
are
I'd
around. It
arguably
must be a
live
pretty
there
cool atmosphere. What's
if
the
I
plan
had
for the
to.
rest of the night? Are you going to graduation, or are you just going to hang out at the footy club?
I reckon we just take it as it comes. I don't know. See, yeah.
So Dad's got a North
You probably go to
Melbourne
graduation. You rock up and say to your
got a Port Adelaide one handy.
classmates, you just got drafted. Like, what are they gonna? That's about as good as a flex you can
Guys,
get.
congratulations. I think everyone in football is so happy to see finally, Jack, as we say, you're a real steal in this year's draft. And once you get to the club, it really doesn't matter what number you were picked up at. So best of luck for a really long and successful football career to you and also your brother.
Don't go to grad. He can do whatever he wants.
Phew, that's a relief, isn't it? It's so good to see both brothers now drafted.
Yeah, you've nailed that too, Sarah.
You
I
go
don't
to
think
that
it
school
really
and
matters at the
graduation
end of
night
the
is
day what number
boring.
you go. It would have been disappointing for Jack to.
Well,
to go
I'm sure
through last
graduation's not as fun as a formal night.
With pick 34, Fremantle have selected Charlie Nichols from Central District.
I haven't heard of that guy at all. Is he a bolter?
Shifter Charlie is a really important
Another
player
key.
at both ends of the ground.
Why
He
haven't
can
I heard of him?
swing
He's
and
not
play
really a
with
bolter
great
at all.
versatility.
And another one of those 197 key position players. Amazing. Regarded as one of the best marking players out of the SA program.
The reason is because on this website that I've been reading, he's not ranked in the top 50. So why is he ranked 36? Another key, yeah. Fuck, Collingwood are not happy about that.
Club level. Also kicked in 11 matches at club level. 22
This is
goals,
incredible. There still hasn't been a midfielder. Maybe someone in the chat is right. The mids are not that good.
He showed speed for a boy, 197 to do 2.96.
Wow.
So he gets that separation off his defensive opponent with that brilliant speed.
Yeah, this soundtrack isn't great.
Enormous scope for improvement, I think, this young fella. So he'll be a project player, given he's quite light.
Project player. I don't like the term project player.
I love his ability.
Quite impatient. So Hawthorn are up next now.
Ball drop. I've been really impressed by that. Along with the way he absorbs contact and still takes contested marks. I mean, he's averaging 3 contested marks a game, and he's a sub 3 second 20-metre sprint as well. So finished 8th in the national combine testing with the top.
Hawthorn's first pick of the entire draft.
If that's what Fremantle
They
have got
probably
to work with as a
don't
project
need to
player,
worry too much about who they get.
Army would be pretty excited.
Congratulations to Charlie Nichols, headed to the Fremantle Football Club at pick 34. Next up on the clock is Hawthorn.
They didn't interview
This
him.
is their first pick of the 2024 draft, so Hawks fans have been waiting patiently.
They did not interview the guy.
They were very heavily involved.
They only
in the
interview the
trade
ones that
period,
they care
obviously
about, like
acquired
Whitlock.
some more established talent. It's left their draft hand a little leaner.
Scoops had
than
an
some
interview with
others.
James Barrett.
What are you expecting them
Oh,
to
then
do
he'd be pretty happy that we got him.
They're an
But,
exciting
but
group.
I don't know
We've
if
got a lot to
he
look
would be
forward to,
happy
and
with the
it's
3
scary to think
defenders.
When you add Josh Battle and Tom Barrass into the fold, so they'll probably look for. I would have thought potentially another key forward. Maybe they talk about James Sicily being thrown down there to help out in the forward line. I think there's capacity for another tall forward.
Hawthorn's list is almost like perfect in a way, so I would like to be.
Stage, I think the Hawks can just
Would like to know who they go for here. They might just go best available.
They've got a very, very exciting group, and Sam Mitchell's doing some really great things at the Hawks and giving us plenty to look forward to when we watch them on game day.
Who have we got left on the table shifted that you think they should be having
Fuck.
a close look at? There's still some
lagging.
all-Australian calibre players, aren't there, that are roundabouts?
Oh, there's terrific players on the board. If you want the running
I think
man
we're
we've
lagging.
got here, and that's Christian Moraes, a boy from out at the Eastern Ranges. They would have seen him fairly closely.
Well, it
That's
says
their,
we are.
their natural area where players push through to Box Hill at state league level. So he's one that's there. Will Hayes,
Maybe we're
a
not.
similar type of player, very skillful boy from over in the west.
Well,
Hamish
it says we
Davis
are.
is still there.
It says we are.
Forward that
Dropping
had a wonderful
frames.
year at Claremont at both senior level
Fucking-
and underage level. So there's some real class in amongst the.
All right, quickly, I'll just
smaller
stop and
players
start.
in their team in recruiting.
With pick 35,
Okay, there we go.
Hawthorn
Oh,
have
never mind. We're dropped
selected
frames again.
Noah Mraz from the Dandenong Stingrays and the Narry
Is that another
Foxes
key defender?
Football Club.
That's a key defender.
So Noah had an injury this year, so we probably don't have as much exposed.
Oh my
film
God!
in
Why are we
as
dropping
some of the
frames?
other picks, so he could end up being quite the steal.
Yeah, so missed his 18th year almost the entire year, but he played a couple of games early that gave the clubs a glimpse, but had a brilliant 17th year. He's a key defender.
Well, I can't do anything about it.
It's a great intercept
Hope it
marker.
fixes itself.
He could have been a top 20 based
I'll
on
just
what we saw
update
at
this.
the start
Maybe
of
it's
the year. That's
good when
how
I get back
he
on it.
looked, and the clubs didn't miss him. He might have missed the whole year, but they knew that this boy could play. He was part of the Futures program last year.
Another
and,
defender.
building their defence
Another
again.
key as
You've
well.
got-
It's just
you've got a
keys
couple of
galore
great
here.
defenders in, through trades, but then you have a
Bias
young
towards
one
the
to
tall
come.
players.
So I think very, very smart, wise choice with Mraz.
Yeah, another one out of the Dandenong Stingrays. They just continue to produce year in, year out. Just an incredible region for talent. But what I like about Noah Mraz is I think he's got the capacity to play on the monsters. I think he's got a frame that's going to really fill out. And, you know,
All right, hopefully the stream's better.
centimetres,
Let's have a
we
look. If
often
it's still
see
crap, well,
the
that's
skinnier
not going to
tall
be good at
defenders, but
all.
When you come up against Tom Lynch and Tom Hawkins, previously prior to
Oh,
retirement,
it's better.
there's very, very few
Good.
defenders that have got the capacity
better.
to play on those real monsters in the competition. I think Noah Mraz is one of them. I think he's got the athletic profile, and he's also very, very sound below his knees for a
We've
player
got
of that
forward,
size.
defender, forward,
Yes, one-on-one
forward, defender,
defending, one
forward,
of the
forward,
key
defender, and they're all
pillars of this
keys.
draft CV, so a big congratulations.
More keys
to
than a piano.
Noah, headed to the Hawthorn
All
Football
right, we
Club.
might drop a
What
few
an
people because of the
exciting
fact that
club
the
to
stream
join
was
at the moment.
doing
Such talented youngsters
whatever it
on
felt
that
like
list.
wanting to
They
do.
were spectacular.
The
in
Giants have
season
literally
2024.
drafted
As we take a
small
look at the
players
Giants,
for the last 5 years.
their recruiting room there, they're
Surely
picking
they go
number
a
36.
oh,
They pulled a bit of a
they
surprise
need a key
yesterday, didn't
themselves.
they?
Yeah, they should have some bells and whistles in that room.
They need a
They
key
provide
defender, I
some
feel.
Genuine entertainment for us year in, year out. They're an amazing group and led by Jason McCartney, who established a brilliant list at the Western Bulldogs prior to heading across.
The Giants,
to
yeah,
the
they'll pick some
GWS Giants,
unknown
one
guy
of the
no one
sharpest
knows
minds
about.
in football, and obviously Adrian Caruso in the room as well, Emma Quayle. So it's you know, who knows what's about to unfold here. We could see absolutely anything happen.
With pick 36, GWS have selected Jack Ow from the Greater Western Victoria Rebels and the Wentworth.
Just because it's got Greater Western doesn't mean you have to draft him.
very clean in congestion shifter, which is so
Midfielder. That's the
important in
first
today's
midfielder.
game.
Well, the first time I really had a good look at him was in a national championship game playing on the wing. He's 194 centimetres, a big body boy playing out on the wing and played well at national level for
194.
Vic country. But then by the end of this year was a dominant player for the Rebels. They made it through to the...
So could he
Coates
play
Cup
as a
of the
key
grand
position
final,
player then, or is he just no
led
good?
In part by this young fellow with his form. He's a boy from St Pat's College up there at Ballarat, and he had a game in a final, 33 disposals, 7 inside 50s.
Gabe,
Really
Essen are up next. Wonder if Sammy's still watching.
Into that grand final playoff against the Sandringham Dragons. He can play on the inside and
Essen
the
haven't been
outside.
overly
At that
busy.
size, they played him as the tall midfielder inside late in the year after having shown that ability to play out in the wing as well. So, yeah, lots of improvement still in this boy. Not yet 18, another one. 15th of December, he turns 18, so just a young boy that really...
I know the new
developed as the
Saints
year unfolded.
drafty, no joke.
Yeah, 9 clearances in that game.
Well, you're
too,
giving him a
Shifter,
lot
so
of
that was
shit.
a huge game in the finals against
James
Geelong.
Barat.
I love how brave this kid is. I think he's got the ability to go back with a flight. He stands up in a tackle, very, very strong through the hips. And as you mentioned, Sarah, does a lot of his best work in close where his hands are super sharp around the stoppage.
People are complaining, but I feel the Saints would know a lot more deep down than the fans on surface level.
We saw the Kako deal go down yesterday. What do they need? What should they be looking to select here?
I got my
Well,
YouTube
they've got a
gaming
small
recap, and
forward,
it says
which I
I'm top
think they've lacked for a
0.5% on
number
your
of
viewers.
years, and we spoke about that in depth last
How do you?
night, but
How does that
I'd also like to see a bit
I mean, I'm
more
not
in
surprised, but how
midfield.
does that
I think, you know, since we go back to
work?
Joe Watson, and he's probably the last real
How do you
big body. We saw
qualify
Jake
that?
Stringer pinch hit in the middle, so some size in the midfield to help out the likes of Zach Merritt and Darcy Parish, I think wouldn't be a stretch for the Bombers.
So, Shifter, who's left on the board at the moment that you think they're considering that the Bombers are weighing up?
Not sure which players or type of players, but those that I think would be in the 30. Angus Clark's one that really appeals to me. A boy
Dodson
from
hasn't
SA
been
that,
picked up.
He's an intercept marker and no fuss.
Geelong wouldn't? Would Geelong need a ruckman? Yes, they would.
Around Mount Gambier that some of the extraordinary efforts they make to play state league footy and representative footy is amazing. He travelled down...
I don't know. I hope it doesn't take too long.
4.5 hour drive down into Adelaide, 4.5 hours back in the middle of the week, and then flew up to play at the weekends. And,
Jack off.
He actually
Holy
collected
shit.
firewood to help pay
You're
for
not
those
wrong.
flights to get
How
up
do you
there
pronounce his name? Is it
to
off?
represent both Glenelg and State. The clubs loved him. in
Jack
the interview.
off.
I wasn't in there listening to that, but just the reports.
No
back,
way.
The personality of the boy from the farm was just so engaging.
With pick 37, Essendon
Oh, Jack off. What a
selected
star.
Cale
I just
Jurine
love to watch
from
Jack
West
off.
Perth and the Joondalup Kinross Junior Football Club.
Yeah, that's a good result for the Bombers. I mean, I
They
spoke
did
at
get a
the start of the
ruckman, but
show
it wasn't the
about,
higher ranked
being
ruckman.
hopeful they could trade up and snatch that pick off Richmond for a Jobe Shanahan, but they've gone for another tall forward, and Cal Ryan was a name.
He's
that
not
was
a
brought
tall
up in the
forward. They said he's a
mid-season
ruckman.
Draft, previously gone.
He could probably
A lot
also
of
play
clubs rated him very,
tall
very
forward.
highly. He's an outstanding person. He's got great character. Moves a little bit like Rowan Marshall. I had a really good look at Cal.
Moves like Rowan Marshall. Yeah, that's not bad.
Played a couple of league games where he held his own. He had 8, took 4 marks, and kicked a couple
This
against
music is
South
starting to piss me off.
More like a mid than what he does a key position player, Shifter.
Yeah, and his dad.
All right, Porter back on the table. Who are they going to select? I reckon they also get that Dodson guy. He's still. You might as well.
In the waffle competition.
Or a key
This
defender.
young boy, I'm certain he'll be jumping at the first chance he gets to get into the AFL. Yeah, I loved his national games.
It's crazy what love can do.
Fundamentals for a boy of that size. He's 199 centimetres, and he can play that role. Where
Well,
he
I
does
streamed
things
day
he can
3.
mark as well as play forward. And
No, if there's a day 3, I'm not
hopefully
streaming it.
technical ability to kick the ball, both sides of the body. Some of his great assets.
Is there actually a day 3? And stop spamming it, mate. I don't fucking read your question already.
Port Adelaide Football Club, who are on the clock with pick 38.
There is no day 3.
Port Adelaide have selected Christian Moraes from the Eastern Rangers and the Knox Football Club.
Look at that. Celebrations are galores for this guy.
Awesome pictures of Christian and his family and friends there.
Is he also a ruck?
As a bottom ager, a really good runner and some good footy.
No, he's a mid.
Yeah, I call him the running
He's
man, you know, and that's his
a mid.
Rate. It's fantastic. He gets deep into defence to help
Port
his
Adelaide
side.
with another
Becomes
midfielder.
a bit of a link man down there, but he's added goal kicking to his repertoire this year too. Pushes hard forward and hits those goals, kick 5 in a game.
He's just being a dickhead. Yeah, once again, like, he knows there isn't a day 3, surely.
And then was one of that very powerful midfield group with the Vic Metro and their championship winning team. Runner up to Josh Smiley in their best and fairest. So at every level, reads the game so well. The boy that did play a fair bit of basketball.
All right, Eston have another pick now.
They got poise with the ball in hand. You know, that's a natural thing for the basketballers. Not panic when you get it, and he's got all of that ability as well as that very special.
Search it up if you don't believe me.
Christian now he joins us via
That's
Zoom.
the rookie draft,
Christian,
mate. I don't care about the rookie draft. That's obviously the rookie draft.
Just waiting for pick after pick.
But that's not day 3. That's a separate thing.
Yeah, it's so exciting.
I'm not streaming the rookie draft.
Go to a great club like Port, got all my mates here and family. Yeah, couldn't be more keen. So happy.
Is it hard to stay composed? You do sound a little bit emotional at the moment because I imagine it has been such a big build-up.
Yeah, obviously throughout the whole
It's not
year,
day
like,
3. The rookie draft isn't day 3.
Mates, but it eats away. Are you a bit sort of waiting around, but couldn't be more happy. Yeah.
Yeah, Christian, congratulations, mate. You look absolutely elated, as you should be. And
Why am I streaming
I know
something
we
from
touched on it
yesterday?
earlier
You don't
with,
know
with Jack
what you're
Whitlock,
talking about.
but don't worry about what number you go, mate. You're on an AFL list now, and you'll get every chance to go out there and prove yourself. In terms of, you know, sitting there and getting a feel for where you may or may not go, is it a surprise to go to Port Adelaide, or did you have multiple discussions with them over the course of the year?
Yeah, you will.
Yeah, I had a few talks with them.
You will,
they were kind of
Nick.
keen, but didn't know when. But they're such a great club. They got such a great fan base, so much culture behind them. So to get to go there, it's just amazing.
AFL Talks doing a Saint. Oh, no way he is.
Connor Rosie play there, so
No
it's just amazing. Couldn't be happier.
fucking way.
Christian, who did you model your game on? I've said you play like Noah Anderson from the Gold Coast Suns, a relentless runner that keeps working so hard across the ground.
A couple of players
Who
in
did
there
you
mixing,
really
and
focus
we
on?
You're an absolute spud, mate.
Well, I mean, especially recently, like I said, Zach Butters, just the way he
Look at him. He's actually streaming just the draft in itself.
Yeah, that's who I like to try and play like. So, yeah, getting to
Mate,
play
if
with
you
him
want to
would
be
really
bloody
amazing. Yeah.
taken seriously, put effort into your stuff you do.
This is such an exciting evening for you. Congratulations. Go and enjoy it with your mates.
People, I'm not even joking. People jump on. If you want to jump on, just give him crap.
Thank you so much.
Cheers. Well done.
How many viewers does he have? He's got 1.
Port Adelaide have really got some steals, haven't they? Some real value in both Christian.
Well, I'm onto that for a little bit. That's actually crazy that he's done that.
Drafting from them.
Yeah, one of the sharpest minds, you know, between Jeff Parker and obviously Jason Cripps there sitting in the
Boak
room.
is going to go before this guy even probably gets a game, mate. Zay.
And successful history. Anthony Parkin's another one. These guys, I think they tend to nail drafts.
What am I on about? Just talking about some hack that's streaming the draft, just the draft.
And let's hope that they can take the
And you
next
might
step
think,
and have
oh,
some
well, that's a bit
sustained
rude calling the
success.
hack for that when you're doing the same thing, but trust me.
Pick 39,
Trust me.
Essendon have selected Angus Clark from Glenelg and the East Gambia Football Club.
A defender with a bit of footy
Not the real
heritage. He's
draft.
the
It's
nephew
not the
of former
it's the not on
correspondent
KO,
and
no.
now AFLW coach Matthew Clark.
Yeah, we mentioned this boy. He's the boy
Angus
that,
Clark.
pick up the firewood.
We are getting
play for the
into
Flames to get
unfamiliar
into
territory
Adelaide.
now.
So that's the effort some of the boys go to try and
I
play
believe
in the AFL.
all of
If one
the
gets
rest of the
red, then he'll
picks
become a
apart from like
teammate.
3 or
Here
4
comes
are
St.
it's
Millicent, of course,
mainly
basically,
unknown.
The dashing half back from the Bombers, and this boy
Another
plays
defender,
like
but a general
he just
defender.
steps
I think he's like a
naturally,
running,
reads the cues very, very well and gets into position. He's got great clean hands.
intercepting,
His kicking on the way out was
meters
one of the
gain,
features of
endurance.
his, performances this year in national championships. And again, he's a boy. I love the way he competed in that 2K. He did a 6 minutes, 16 seconds in windy conditions. Was 3rd overall. And as I mentioned, it's the way they compete in that the clubs love to see.
This
He
Angus
put
kid
it
is
all
good.
out there as he
Well,
has all
that's
year.
good.
He's the intercept.
Good for you, Sammy.
Angus Clark, that's what I've got written down when you watch him. We saw some vision there He averaged 6 intercept possessions at the championships. He's that quarterback style of.
I need to make a call very soon.
His opponent to provide some counter, but
probably within the next 15 minutes.
Angus Clark is it's his second possession when he gets into a.
I mean, Angus Clark sounds like a familiar name.
And that's the killer for opposition side. So, you know, if he can continue to provide that run and overlap, he's, as you say, Shifter, the Mason Redmond likeness is very, very accurate and very damaging.
So Angus Clark going to the Bombers with pick number 39. We turn
There
our
is no
attention
day
to
4,
Carlton.
mate.
They have pick 40 already in this draft. They have selected Jagger Smith, a
But-
superstar young midfielder, when that was with the 3rd pick in the draft. So this is following on from that. What will they be looking to
Okay,
address?
stop
What needs are
streaming.
they
Stop
trying
lagging.
to fill?
Oh, they're another one, aren't they? That's in a really nice position with a genuine high.
I forgot one of your crap. I wonder why you're hitting on you, man.
With pick 40,
Standard drama, I might
Carlton
unhide you.
have selected Harry O'Farrell from the Calder Cannons.
Oh, I've heard of this guy.
Park Football Club.
I have heard of this guy.
Key position player, a bit raw, but
Key
plenty to
defender.
work with
That's
here.
probably
Yeah, and size, well, the
all
height
right.
97, so he's perfect for key position. Lightly built he is.
Baz
so
commits
at the
federal
moment,
crimes.
Can play
It's a
both
bit of a
ends the
stretch,
ground.
mate.
We saw him very good in his 16th and 17th year, this young boy, and that's why he was in the National Academy program. But again, injuries at a couple of points.
Please
this
stream
year,
days 4 and 5. I might just time you out.
He could well have been. Young Harry O'Farrell's a boy from St Kevin's too. They were playing forward at school level, but mainly plays as that intercept marker down back when he plays at club and then representative levels. But the
I would believe actually the longer we last, probably the less importance there is on nailing these picks. So they might not take as long as we probably think.
Harry headed to the Carlton.
Senior up next.
Michael Voss will look forward to having him join the Navy Blue. Well, that concludes round 2.
Round 2's done.
We'll be back after this short
Oh, there's a break.
Plenty more.
We actually have an ad. I don't think we had an ad last night. Bloody... it's alright, actually. Have a bit of a chat. So, Senior up next. They've got their next pick, pick 41. A lot of trading. A lot of trading for round 2. Interesting, but we don't really have any developing key defenders.
I'm turning up for Team Italy because I'll never forget my summer with Alessandro.
No, I just feel like he needs to put in more effort with the stuff he does. Like, that's just low effort sort of stuff right there.
Is reinvigorated. Whether it's for work rate and 2K cash back on select Nissan variants of the X-Trail, Qashqai,
Reconnected.
and Navara dual cab
Yeah, you're right.
full range.
I don't know if you caught what I said because obviously I just cut out for a sec, but you are right.
If you own a small
Razor.
business, you know the day goes fast. There's orders to make, stock to manage, suppliers to pay.
I don't think you can
But there are
stream with
also
graphics, but
opportunities not
regardless.
to be missed. Amex
Well,
business cards support cash flow, fuel growth, and reward you.
it's
for
fine if
being
you just want to
busy.
stream that, but if you want to respect it,
business
that's not
doesn't
going to help
stop.
your cause.
And neither do you. Cards for businesses on the grow. That's the powerful backing of American Express.
Melbourne, are you ready?
Especially when his reputation's already at an all-time low.
The Ausex Open returns on November 30th. See the world's best. Jet Lawrence, Hunter Lawrence, Australia's best, and more.
What's up, Australia?
How are we? How are you, mate?
More jumps, more action.
Speaking of which,
It's going to be a heck of a battle. Make sure you guys be there and see it. Get your tickets on Ticketmaster for November 30th.
it's good. Good to see you've broadcasted the stream of the draft on your channel.
The barbecues
And
galore
having
Black Friday
only that on the
deals are
screen.
now on. Up to 50% off big brand barbecues. Up to 50% off barbecue accessories and backyard essentials.
Can you? I'm not doing anything after the stream. Sorry.
Hurry, don't miss out. Only at barbecues
I
galore.
wasn't even planning on streaming this originally.
Sending money beyond your home ground, whether it's for the folks back home, paying back a mate, or making that
But I've decided to
dream
do it.
purchase. Once
Might as well
again,
watch
the
it.
competition
I think this will probably become a thing in the future, and then I probably next year I'll try and make it even more watchable.
Wherever you're sending
Think
money,
of the ways to do that.
with Western Union.
Marketers are spread so thin. You've got to generate leads, then score leads, then contact leads. But is it leading anywhere? There's so much content to make, so many
Brisbane
channels to manage
Lions
across so many campaigns.
all the way.
You have to be everywhere, all the time. You're in overdrive. Are you
No, it's all good. If anyone hasn't already subscribed or liked, that'd be kind of cool to get a few more. Obviously, day one we definitely did quite well in that regard.
That drive revenue. So impossible growth?
I don't know if the Saints have pick 51, but it's getting to the stage where I'm not sure. Not sure how that's going to go. I don't think we've seen many big bolters. See, what I could do actually, I could in the brackets have the power ranking, so we know how much of a bolter or slider. I could do that, but maybe not. Maybe not for this stream.
As an AFL player, Matt is headed to North Melbourne. Jack to Port Adelaide. That was his poor mum, Angela, at the bottom of that pack there. And Christian Moraes will join Jack at Port Adelaide. So two wonderful picks for Port.
It's one of the highlights of the draft night, watching the reactions of the players getting drafted and the family and the friends.
Their recruiting team. We're going to head back to the draft as round 3 commences, and it is the Sydney Swans that are on the clock. Pick 41 in the draft. What are they looking at here? We've still got some really great talent. So a lot has been spoken about the depth. We're still talking about players that have got important.
Yeah, Geelong will have the 42. They'll be up soon. And then you've got 50, and I think that might be it. I don't really know how many more picks you got. Haven't actually checked the whole thing. But I believe when it gets to round 4, there'll be quite a few teams that begin to pass. Yeah, surely another key would be what's on the table for Sydney.
The draft list according to our ranks. So Cole Smith, Warburton, all of those players in and around.
With pick 41, Sydney have selected Riley Bice from Werribee.
Riley Bice.
The Albury Football Club.
This is a great story shifter. We love these ones. A mature age player who has persevered.
Once again, a bolter, but also another player that's not tall. They don't like height, the Swans.
So well in that VFL grand final, playing for Werribee.
Luke has 231. Who's Luke?
Vital part of that.
Oh, Swoop Luke.
And on the wing, he's a left footer. He's picked in the VFL Team of the Year after coming down from the Albury Tigers. He'd won their best and fairest last year.
No, I don't care really too much about viewers today. I'm happy about last night. That's where I'm.
Excelled all year in the VFL, and it was pick me for the way he played throughout the year, and he gets his opportunity. We keep saying it's never over until you decide it's over. He's presented so well this year.
Are there any Geelong Falcons players you could maybe look for Geelong Lockie?
At combine level with his agility, and then his 2 covers.
My food that I made an hour ago is still... Fuck, I probably should go grab that.
Developing a wee bit later.
I should have done that actually at the ad break. That would have been a very smart decision, but I didn't do that.
Just repeat effort after repeat effort. Beautiful left foot, user of the ball. He averaged 22 at 76% across the course of the VFL season. So, you know, and brilliant to see a mature age player get taken so early in the draft. And I hope that...
Well, how...
Every year, but I
oh,
really
no, is he the guy that...
hope to a lot of these players that
was in playing for Richmond, the VFL, or is that not the guy?
And going to a club like the Sydney Swans.
No, Werribee.
Grand finalists
So how old is the guy?
For a very long time. You're going into a system that works.
Yeah, 100%. And the Swans, they're in the window.
Riley Bice.
Let's not forget that. Yeah. So, you know, by picking up somebody that's
congratulations.
ready to go and proving himself at state league level, I think it's a very, very savvy selection by the Swans.
Okay, so we have a bid here on Ty Gallup, who was part of the Brisbane Lions Academy.
Oh, what's with Brisbane? They've got another academy player.
What kind of player is Ty?
Now I've got to move down all the teams.
The left fielder, a boy that wasn't in the 131 that were tested, nominated by clubs, but he came home with, we call it the West
When do you have
Side,
to do the call? You don't have to worry about that, mate.
An 8 and a 7 late in the year. That's after having some games for the Allies. There was
I can take a look when Crows get the next pick, but to be completely honest with you, I don't think it's going to be in a while. Lace Out podcast has 6 titles. Just update them on Photoshop. Do it all myself. Not too hard when I've actually found out a way of getting it done quicker.
When these nominations come in for testing, that's around August. His best work was done in that once he grew in confidence.
Picks 30 to 34 names, all starting with J. Joby, Josh, James, Jack.
Mitch Hahn, of course,
Well, 30 to 33. But yeah, Jay's quite a common first name.
Over recent years, and maybe that's why Brisbane were looking to get some extra.
So Brisbane get Ty Gallup.
Anticipate there might well be some sort of bid for this boy at some point. So will you take him?
Which is annoying because now I've got to move everything over.
So Mick, there we have on screen a little recap of some tradings between the Gold Coast Suns.
So that means Geelong have pick 43, I
the
think.
Brisbane Lions there.
How many rounds are there?
Yeah, not much in that
5?
really is there. It's the Gold Coast Suns obviously
But
trading out.
there might be 6, but it's not going to last that long. Back at when lists, like AFL team list sizes were bigger, there'd be more players getting drafted, but there aren't as many now.
Suns are trying to get to, and if we look on the board there, you know, this one isn't going to cost the Brisbane.
You
Lions
might
too
have to end the
much, and
stream.
when you think over the last couple of
Look,
years,
man, do whatever you want, but I don't know why you started the stream in the first place.
Danaher retiring, so they'll have an eye
Like
to the
if you're going to
future,
commit to doing
and
something like
they've
that,
got
at the
time
very
for
least,
a
start from
player
the start.
like Ty Gallup to develop in their system, due to having, you know, Eric Hipwood and you know, and those sorts of players still in some really good form and at a really good age.
So they're just trying
Do
to
whatever you
free
want.
up some picks there. Brisbane Lions absolutely in the window, and they've done some incredible recruiting. Obviously, Levi Ashcroft, and then also Marshall. So it's been a really successful draft for them. So
Academies
far.
are silly. They should remove them from the AFL.
This is going to be a big decision for them to see what they do. It just
Or
shows
make
the
it
level of scouting
sort
by
of
clubs at this point.
make it a bit
Also
fairer.
playing the VFL for the Lions, a final.
Feel
They must
because
have
certain
had some
teams get
injuries,
big
but
advantages like
against
Brisbane,
Werribee in the wet.
Gold
There's
Coast,
clubs there, including Geelong,
GW,
that have looked
Sydney,
at
all the
that,
freaking
love
Northern
his
State
performance,
teams.
the way he competed at that level. So it's a never-ending task to assemble your list if you're a club, to have a look at all of the players, much broader than, let's say, the 130 that we'd screened and tested. So your eyes are everywhere, and be aware that some boys mightn't take off until very late in the season. Those performances in finals when the speed goes up are so important as well. To just contribute to the team. You might be the best on the ground, but they can see that you're coachable and still heading in the right direction as a player.
I think full credit to Dom Ambrosio too, Shifter. The job that he has done with that list, and you know, it hasn't stopped yet. You mentioned, Sarah, they're fortunate to have a guy like Levi Ashcroft come through the door. But
It's taken ages, this thing. Just get on with it, man.
Steve Canol's another. Leon Harris, one of the all-time great football people in the room there.
I wonder if the Lions are going to draft. They've got heaps of like these. They've got a heap of selections to come. They're not going to take every player.
And others haven't. How involved, Shifter, are the senior coaches?
So
in
will they
this
trade or
recruiting
pass?
process?
I think they've got to be in there asking the questions and digging fairly deep into the type of player that you're getting. They won't see as much of them.
It's simple. You
They'll
have
see
to
some
pick
of
a.
the vision.
You have to have a pick in the round that you believe the bid will come.
Their philosophy and the way they should be playing the game. They might have a focus on
on
speed
academies.
or height or deep defence or whatever it is, and they might push that agenda. But eventually, it'll be a combination of that list manager and recruiter manager that'll make those.
Okay, well, I'm going to update this. It's not going to be completely accurate, but it's all right because over time it will.
Fairly even, these boys. They're all pretty.
And whilst we're like on the topic of this shit, I'm just going to pick up this call.
The AFL means you're a pretty special player.
And see Grant Birchall in the Brisbane Lions rooms there, of course, a superstar with the Hawthorn Football Club, and then played some time with the Brisbane Lions, involved there as well, Shifter.
Yeah, wonderful to see him. He helped out with the Allies as well. He's the runner working with Mitch Hahn. And
I'll do it after this, I guess, because they're going to still have to wait, the Cats.
With pick 42,
Pick 42.
Brisbane have selected Ty Gallup.
Mr.
from
Ty
the
Gallup.
Brisbane Lions Academy, the Maroochydore AFC, and the Kawana
Who do I
Park
think Collingwood will
Football Club.
choose?
some opportunity to further develop some talent,
well,
and there is no rush.
I think
with
they
the way
probably
the
would
Brisbane
like
Lions are set up at the
a
moment.
key
They can
forward.
put some time into tie.
And congratulations to Maroochy.
But a lot of
the
these key
football
forwards
club.
have been getting
They've
picked up
provided
already.
the opportunity to
So
play
I actually don't
and,
know who
been
is the
rewarded
next
with ties
best
performances,
available at the
and
moment
he's
of the
now up
options.
in the AFL, so they're contributing to the pathway quite brilliantly. And
All right, let me just mute
this boy
myself.
with
This shouldn't
190
take
for a
long.
great one-on-one type
You're gonna hit.
player.
It really
And
shouldn't be
following
too much of an
nicely,
issue. You just
might
listen to
be,
the rest of the stream.
Another local
Just mute
product
myself
from
for a
Queensland that will have a great future in AFL footy.
Our Fox Footy rankings had him outside the 100, so he is absolutely the very definition of a bolter, me.
Yeah, he certainly is, but it just reiterates, doesn't it? I mean, I thought there was a massive overreaction last year to the AFL club academies, particularly the northern states, when, you know, we saw them dominate early stages of the draft. But until it gets to the point of that happening year after year after year, I think we just need to realise the importance of the growth of the game in those markets. And you just recognise shift to the Maroochydore Footy Club.
I should get a call back, and when I get a call back, I'll mute. Speaking of calling, I will call my mum about one thing real quick.
Just realise the importance. I mean, Geelong are obviously invested and willing enough to bid on Ty Gallop and see him as a genuine AFL footballer. So that speaks volumes for the growth of the game.
Okay, we have a bid pending.
I completely forgot about that pizza.
Of course.
Yeah, I know it's here.
Is it cold? That's the only issue. Is it like real cold or?
That one, it had to come fairly soon. He's a well-performed player, Ben. You'd love to have in your CV best on the ground in the MCG. Well, he did that in the curtain raiser in his 17th year, that futures game. Had it 28, 30 times. He's the right footer of the
Yeah, maybe just do that and then just message me. Just sorry, because I completely forgot I was just on a stream. Hold on, I'll mute chat.
I think that they'll get used to these boys. They play a lot like Scott. They look like him naturally enough. The twins of Scott Camporelli. Ben is the more of the inside player that wins the footy.
All it was is I freaking made a pizza before the stream and I put it in the oven, and I was gonna. Well, it's obviously out of the oven because the timer went off, but I was just too preoccupied with the stream, I completely forgot about it. Geelong have also broken. Geelong picked someone, or is everyone going to get stolen? So they're freaking now going to have to go to 44 because Camporelli's going to Carlton.
In South Australia this year. So his CV
Fuck,
looks
this
pretty
is
impressive,
semi-annoying.
This young fella, they'll be ready to match the bid. I think the Blues.
They'll be ready to match the bid. Well, they're obviously going to match the bid.
The father-son rule. I mean, you can just feel the smiles on Blues fans' faces right around Australia. Scott Camporelli.
Is this guy like that good though?
And now the fact his son is joining the famous Navy Blue.
Like he'd be good, but like, how good is this guy?
Part of our game.
Yeah, well, the Carlton boys, Nick Austin there and Mick Agresta, hopefully they've added up their points and they're ready to go to be able to claim.
Oh, Carl.
With pick 43, Carlton have selected
Ben Camporelli
from Glenelg.
There we go.
And the Brighton Bombers football.
Father-son. Second of the night.
It's official
or
now.
Well, first, but second of the draft.
Congratulations to the Camporelli family. There's one down and obviously another one to come in Lucas. But
and then Lucas will probably be, I don't know when, but soon.
Around the contest, he's a clearance
and because he's a bigger name, I reckon they're going to interview him.
Watch the game where they played against the Metro side and his work on Levi Ashcroft.
All right, the draft table is not actually accurate, but it's all good because...
A couple of times Ashcroft gave him his back and he just pushed him into the contest.
It's all good because that'll be updated when it gets updated.
Was able to get on the end of a clearance, so he's really.
Nah, Geelong shouldn't go another bit. What's the point though of what are do the Cats gain anything from doing that or not? Oh shit! Let me answer. Hold up.
Say hello to Ben, the newest Navy Blue. Ben, talk us through your emotions right now. This must be a boyhood dream come true.
Yeah, it's a boyhood dream. Obviously, it's a long way and you just want your name to get called out, but I'm so stoked to finally get on the list and go to a club like Carlton and carry on tradition. Hopefully, my dad did would be pretty special.
And you've got your dad sitting there just behind you and also your twin brother. How important is it to share this moment with those loved ones?
Yeah, it's pretty special. Obviously, it's a unique journey being a twin like the Whitlocks, but I'm just so happy to get my name called out and obviously do it with Lucas. I wouldn't be here without him, so it's pretty special.
What are your memories as a youngster? Did you grow up barracking for Carlton, I imagine? Who were your favourite players aside from your dad? Talk to us about your Carlton history.
Yeah, well, we were actually Crows because my dad was coaching, but we didn't follow too much when we were younger, but definitely sort of coming through the ranks. Obviously, you watch Dad and sort of when you grow up, blokes like Walshy and Cripper, and then obviously the Judds and the Mark Murphys, but it's pretty cool. Yeah, pretty sweet.
Now, Ben, as a boy growing up, was there any point in time where you remember, look, I want to play the AFL? Has it always been there, or when did that happen?
Yeah, it's always been there. I probably didn't have the smoothest journey sort of going through the ranks.
Did I miss anything? No, I didn't. I just missed an interview that you guys probably were listening to.
A lot of that fire in me sort of to work.
Your dad wasn't even born when Dom Sheed kicked that goal. Oh my goodness. Wow, these insults are getting really... Troy...
So now I imagine you're
It's really not that interesting. It's something I'm not going to reveal on the stream. Exclusive dogs get pick 49. Do they actually, or am I just...
Yeah.
Wait, Saints have pick 45 now.
You want the best of both of us, Mum and Dad probably...
I don't get... Why do they not announce these bloody trades? So now we have pick 45, which actually isn't that bad.
Go to a club like Carlton with your brother would be pretty special.
Let's just update this whilst we're waiting. We've got nothing better to do.
Jack Carroll departing the club this year leaves a certain...
Alright, all I'll say though, chat, is I will be streaming the full draft. I've confirmed that. That was, in a way, what that phone call was about for the people that for some reason really want to know, which I don't understand why, but it's okay. I can exclusively reveal on stream, dogs get pick 49 for a future third.
We're so happy for you, Ben.
So, like, meaningless, these trades, but who knows? What if that pick 49 becomes, like, a bond?
Very soon. We'll let you get back to your family and friends.
Haha, Dilbanger. No, it wasn't even, it wasn't Dilbanger.
Well done.
It wasn't Dilbanger.
Okay, we've got a trade swap going on between St Kilda and the Bombers there, Mick.
Yeah, the Bombers giving up.
So the Bombers have given away their 40. What? I need to see this.
Far away and handing that over to the Saints along with a future 4th selection. And
so what do we get?
The Bombers acquiring a future 2nd rounder. So Bombers are loading up for the 2025 draft. There's no doubt about that.
That's sort of shit actually for St Kilda. Why do we get rid of a 2nd rounder? What if we finish?
44, Geelong have selected Jay Polkinghorne from Norway.
James Polkinghorne? Isn't he like didn't he play for Brisbane, that guy? Obviously he's not the same guy, but
Shifter, a South Australian joining them.
he's not even ranked. He's an extreme bolter. He's not even ranked.
The real weapon for this young fella.
What the hell?
The ball coming into the forward line. He's got wonderful hands. He's a boy from.
He's not even ranked.
Plains, in fact.
That doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be bad, but I'm just surprised that we have a general. Is he kind of like going to be like a Sean Manus? He's going to be a good player. Let's be honest. It's bloody Geelong, but it is the biggest bolter, I think.
You can see him
he's not ranked.
A good player once he gets into a full-time program.
And that's the luxury that some clubs have.
Unranked.
The ability and the time to develop these players.
Yeah, and there's no better at it than...
I thought they were going to get Dodson.
They
Yeah, I would have imagined a ruckman could have been quite... We could get Dodson, though. That might be why we've traded up. We're obviously not going to just fucking take some shit player. We've traded up for a reason. Who will the Saints get in their next pick? This is probably going to be St Kilda's last pick of the night.
Had a taste of reserves football.
We might have another one. I don't know exactly, but
stepped up a little bit in class out of junior ranks, and
I think so. It's West Coast have 46, Collingwood have 47, West Coast have 48. Come on, St Kilda. Come on, let's draft. Probably not under. If we get another defender, shit. After this, I got to get my food.
With pick 45, St Kilda have selected Hugh Boxall from Claremont.
Never heard of this guy.
Swanbourne Junior Football Club.
Very impressive at the state combine.
Yeah, ultra impressive.
Mid.
Not surprised
Finally.
to see the Saints trade up here.
I had
a feeling that
we've traded up for a guy that I don't really have much of an idea about, but I kind of now feel like I should. Hugh Boxall. It's not the greatest name to call out at the footy. Oh, Boxall! What a player! What a mark from Mr. Boxall.
likens himself a little
It's
bit.
not
I
a
heard him
commentator's
here
dream
on
name because you
WAC,
can't just
likens
go
himself to Josh Dunkley,
Hugh
which is a pretty handy
Box
player to
Shaw.
model your game on, but,
That's all right.
you
It's
know,
just
he's
a name
really
though.
good
It doesn't
user,
matter.
Got elite speed, got a real good speed endurance mix, and he's an exciting prospect, a real genuine runner and line breaker.
Yeah, I've seen him as a stopping star too at the national.
I
level, playing
don't
for
think we have
WA.
another choice now. We're
Also
done.
Great grand final. That helps a lot. He's a Claremont boy, 30 disposals in the best couple on
I'm
the
gonna
ground.
play around the draft order. This is annoying.
His elite hands to Jai Cole, the emerging player there at the Bombers. You know, just very elite in that area. And his combine, as you mentioned, at state level was outstanding. That's a boy that come prepared. He just said, pick me really with the way he ran his 2K, his agility, his speed. Very professional in the way he'd set himself for that, and very impressive with this young fellow right throughout the year and in the way he presented.
Our Fox Footy analysis compares him to Jack Steele, so good to get a comparison to the skipper of the club.
Comparison to Jack Steele, you can't go wrong with that.
Focus switches to the West Coast Eagles, pick 46. So we are well and truly into the third round now.
I might quickly go and get that pizza that I was talking about. The draft board's all screwed up on my end because of all these moves and all that. Can't wait for BT to be screaming Jack off. And
I don't think it's at that stage yet. I still think there's some genuine class on the board as we look there. Hamish Davis.
I wonder if anyone will make jokes about that. I feel like probably
really
yes.
Clever small forward. Will
I'll be
Hayes,
back in a sec.
He's an elite runner. That kid reminds me a lot of
Dodson
Lachie
still hasn't been
midfield
picked
type
up.
on the
Davis,
inside.
Gross is the
And,
highest ranked
obviously
mid
the
still
big
available, and
when
then there are
Alex
just
Dodson's still there.
forwards aplenty.
He's
So I
gonna get
feel
an
like
opportunity at some
Collingwood
stage,
can get one of those players.
Although he'll be very, very anxious at home. But no, look, and it's amazing, isn't it, how things, we spoke about that trade last night between Port Adelaide and West Coast and those sorts of things. I've got no doubt that trade that just occurred between the Bombers and the Saints was due to the fact that the Saints knew that West Coast had a real genuine interest in him. So the games that are played behind the scenes, I just marvel at every year, and it just goes to show you've really got to be on your mettle as a list management group to get the players you want through the door.
Shifter, the West Coast Eagles and other non-Victorian clubs, how do they set up their recruiting? Obviously, they would have a large recruiting team in their home state, but Victoria being the footy heartland and where so much of under-18 football is played, do they have a big part of their team over here in Melbourne? Yeah,
it's the spread your resources where the players are. So half the market's normally coming out of Victoria. So you'd have one of your full-timers definitely here. Often it's the recruiting boss based here, where you can watch from week to week half the market. But then with a number of players regularly coming out of SA and WA, you've got to have great coverage there.
Imagine if we picked that Dodson guy.
You know, places like Tassie. Normally the Victorian manager would have scouts over in Tassie.
I think West Coast seem to want a key defender, I've been hearing.
But the Tassie boys get to play here a lot.
With pick 46, West Coast have selected Tom Gross from the Oakley Chargers and the Kew Rovers Football Club.
Is that another midfielder?
Congratulations to Tom.
Yeah.
This is a bit of a steal, Shifter. He was definitely regarded as a really high up draft pick.
Yeah, and all Australians, so you still get them at 46. You're pretty happy if you're doing that. Real sharp competitive edge, this boy. He's got a bit of Matty Rowell.
Not a lot of chat is
I reckon he's tenacious in the way he
significant enough
attacks
to
the
rate
ball.
at the
He gets
moment.
Plenty of it. He can play on the inside or the outside.
So is Collingwood up next? So they finally can go for their first selection.
Against SA, we see some vision from that game. He also was part of the National
This is
Academy,
quite
so
good,
he
this
with
pizza.
Tartan Lockyer and his group of very elite players.
It's going to make it even more annoying to try and fix everything when I'm trying to eat.
Level at the start of the year. So, yeah, he's a boy that you look at it and you think, how can he still be there in the mid-40s? But that's the nature of this draft.
So West Coast seem to have done quite well. Another steal.
It's got great depth, and Tom Gross becomes the next one to be listed.
We just touched on it, didn't we, Sarah? Where it would go. Are they speculative types now? And as Shifter mentioned, to get an All-Australian at pick 46.
Yeah, it's extraordinary.
It is.
So yesterday was a lot crazier, yeah, I know.
He's a footballer, Tom Gross. Like, we get some athletics types, you get players that have got a bit of a mix of both, but this kid's athletic profile sound enough, no doubt, but I like his real footy smarts, his ability to weight his kicks. I think that's a really important attribute in today's footy, particularly someone that can find the ball.
All right, looks like we have Collingwood up next.
So smart selection there. We obviously Todd Nisbet in the room, and all the best to.
I very much do wonder when this will end. If this will end within the next hour, which I don't think it will.
At pick 47, this is their first selection in the draft. They weren't able to do anything yesterday. It is a long way back, and what's
I still need to update the bottom right.
Houston obviously in the trade period, and they still can land a really good player even in the late 40s, just due to the absolute.
Who's benefited the most? You'd have to say Richmond, right?
Okay, Shifter, we have a bid here on a Sydney Swans Academy player in Joel Cochran.
Wow. Once again, Sydney get these bids.
That the bid comes around this level for Joel Cochran. I've seen enough of him to really believe he's going to be an AFL player. Running ability's elite. He's a boy that, well, he fell in love with the game really in his early teens. Not all the boys in Sydney.
When will Collingwood get their first selection here?
The age of 6 or 7 as they are.
They're not even going to get themselves a key defender that they want.
So he's still leading the caper, but he's 195.
This piece of shit. This is good. This is I don't know why I said shit.
Back or deep defence. And very coachable. Again, a boy taken into the National Academy with Tark and Lockyer. We get to see them up close a wee bit more than many of the other boys, and such a coachable young fella that he'll get better and better the higher he goes in his footy.
Well, I might as well update that then again. There's so many updates, so that's why it's no point of even bothering, because you're just going to have to update it once again afterwards.
I've repeated it a fair bit over 2 days, but to see him compete in that and not have any excuses.
So the Swans are going to pick up, I think, Joel Cochran. Will that?
I'm pretty elite in a few areas.
Yeah, Swans have got him.
With pick 47, Collingwood have selected Joel Cochran from the Sydney Swans Academy and UNSW Eastern Suburbs Bulldogs.
So we don't see this all that often at club passing.
Wait, what? They passed? They fucking passed.
How fabulous.
That's the beauty of the system. That's the system at work. You know, some people see things differently.
Would you be pissed if you're Joel Cochran thinking that you were going to get...
Collingwood felt that he was the sort of player they want to see on their list with his attributes, and that's the system working absolutely
Interesting.
as far as
I haven't seen that happen in a while.
We touched on that earlier, didn't we? And it just reiterates the point. These club academies are developing players for the game. So we've just seen a Sydney Swans Academy player.
Well, that's probably a good thing, I guess.
Victorian club. And what's remarkable, it's interesting, his only VFL game actually came against Collingwood. So he did enough in that game to impress the likes of Derek Hyman.
All right, well, now I think it's West Coast for the next pick, so I've managed to screw that one up.
Look, I liken him to a Nick Haynes type rebounder. That's what I see when I watch Joel Cochran play.
So we can see Craig McRae.
Surely they show this guy's highlights. Like
the Collingwood room, and
as a Collingwood fan, I'd want to see that if I was a Collingwood fan.
Too often.
No, we don't, and this is where the intrigue.
Pies wouldn't have accepted that either. No.
Scratching their heads, going, geez, we would have thought the Swans wanted a tall defender, and they have one in their own backyard, and they've let him slip through to Collingwood. But there'll be a reason behind that, and I'm sure it's not the fact that the Swans don't rate him. They've just got other plans in mind for where their list is.
I don't really give a shit, Jay. I already said I don't know much. I'm more of a spectator tonight, so if you want to say that, you can.
Who have been busy tonight.
I don't really care, mate.
48. We spoke before about developing
I'm a spectator.
Clubs just needing a plethora of talent, just good players in through the draw, not necessarily absolute positional needs. But who do you think that they should be targeting given who's left on the
I would have thought Sydney would have said yesterday they need their key defenders, but I guess not.
Looking in their own backyard, so obviously Bo Allen came through. Now he serves a purpose.
Any WA talent still to come? Probably yes.
It's in a rebuild phase like West Coast because he'll fill a need across all 3 zones of the ground. But I think someone I know I've touched on him a lot, but Hamish Davis is still sitting there. He's in their own backyard. He's proven it at state league level. He's put in some outstanding performances for Claremont across the course of the season. So
obviously, I don't think they won because of match fixing.
Is the go-home factor still a real thing in 2024? I mean, clubs are so much better at providing support systems around players, but essentially it remains a factor, doesn't it?
Yeah, 100% it does. And look, I'm not saying that in a negative light at all. I just think it's the reality of where we're at and the power now that player agents hold and the ability to move players around the country. So if you're splitting hairs with a player and there's one in your home state and one potentially interstate, I think clubs still have a tendency to look in their own backyard for the safety of retaining a player.
All right, looks like the Eagles have selected their pick.
Some real experience in that room too. Obviously, we see Don Pike, recent CEO John Worsfold, who's gone back into a footy management type role.
Can we get to 41.9k? If you haven't subscribed yet, it'd be great.
With pick 48, West Coast have selected Luca Grego from the Western Jets and the Bacchus Marsh Football and Netball Club.
What sort of player are they drafting here, Shifter?
Well,
another bolter.
They're drafting a player that can play multiple positions. He plays at the Western Jets in the centre of the ground.
Yeah, I already know. I don't have much knowledge from this point onwards. I've already said it like 5 times. You don't need to like mention it.
That end up in the midfield there. So he's quite a versatile player. Lovely size. I love his composure with the ball in hand.
You want me to turn it out?
He's averaging in the mid-20s.
I get that, but then it just...
Best and fairest awards. He's had a very consistent
I get the people that are here just for the broadcast, but ultimately the broadcast is not the main priority of the stream. It's just a secondary. So I don't want the
wonderful to see him rewarded.
The commentary and all that to
they've obviously gone with best available, as we touched on.
Be way too loud where it's harder to hear me. I know people don't want to hear me. They've been giving me shit about it all stream, but most people do. So I'm just going to keep it. Maybe go a little bit louder, but I'm not going to go much louder. I'm sorry.
His lateral movement gives him the capacity to, to really change direction, break lines as that.
Gold Coast have the next pick.
Mid-type, and I think he's got a sound enough tank.
And another bid pending
for his 2K, so that'll naturally improve as he starts to mature and get a couple of pre-seasons under his belt.
And then was elite with that agility too. With that.
I don't feel like I'm yapping. I'm just talking.
For the 20, so he showed that at the state combine level. He's a boy out at the Maribyrnong Sports Academy too. Wonderful to see some of the public, not the privates, the public schools that provide great sport education, and that's one that's been around for a decade or more, and really helped some boys out in the western suburbs of Melbourne. Young Lucas from the Keilor Football Club, but that Maribyrnong Sports Academy is very good.
So we have a bid here on Cooper Bell.
Yeah, I've turned it up a little bit.
Son's pick 49 now. He is
I hate eating on stream. It's annoying, but
whether the GWS
I'm starving and it needs to happen.
He's also a bolter. Our ranking had him at 100.
Who the hell did West Coast pick? I forgot that Luca or someone. Let me just check real quick.
Played for the Allies, played in all of their matches. He's got good closing speed, still developing boys of that size.
It's all right.
He's also been a bit of a
I can't please everyone watching the stream.
His junior career.
With pick 49,
surely someone in the chat can chuck it in.
Cooper Bell.
Cooper Bell for the Sun. Who the bloody West Coast get again? I've got to fix that.
So the Giants electing to pass on Cooper Bell, which means he is now a Gold Coast Sun.
There we go again with one academy passing and the other academy grabbing.
Yeah, exactly. What do you expect me to do? Just sit here and say nothing? I'm not AFL Talks. If you want just the broadcast, go on his stream. Get that quality.
This young fella, he's from Canberra in the ACT, so wonderful to see that part of the world getting a player picked up.
All right, another. Oh, look at that. Bolter, Cooper Bell. Academy player.
Potential players around the Canberra region.
That was passed on the. So that's two.
We actually just spoke, didn't we? And said we haven't seen
teams passing in a row.
3 picks. So fantastic. The system, like Shifter said, is working. Cooper Bell is one of those deeper type defenders too.
Gold Coast have not been busy really this draft at all.
A project.
Apart from obviously getting Lombard.
He'll get a little bit of time to develop. I think they're on the way up, and they're now in a pretty good place.
All right, Collingwood have finally. Oh no, they've already picked, but they get their second.
Which impressed me when I watched him. I think it's a great asset of his for a guy, 199 centimetres. It's
who would they want?
To see
Pies.
His ability to recover and stay proactive.
Probably a key forward.
Contest once it does hit ground level.
So we often say, why don't clubs bid on someone earlier if they think they're worth that? Well, it's not just that. You also have to be prepared to take them if the bid isn't matched. And clearly, the Gold Coast Suns genuinely wanted Cooper part of their team.
Yeah, 100%, Sarah. And you know, it's nice to have a little bit of time to chat through this tonight, but that is the reality of it. There's no games being played anymore.
20% warning. It's just screen recording
his
his screen.
Back in 2015 with Josh Dunkley when you know, he was bid on at pick 25 by the Western Bulldogs, nominated as father-son to the Sydney Swans, and the Swans passed on Josh Dunkley. So that will happen. And if the club, it's not that they don't value the player, it's just that they don't necessarily think that they should be giving up a selection at that particular point in the draft. So it is realistic, and if you are going to bid, be prepared to take the player.
With pick 50, Collingwood have selected Charlie West from the Woodville West Torrens
A yellow video maker.
Football Club Juniors.
Another South Australian shifter.
And family ties one again. His grandfather was our CEO at one stage at the AFL, Wayne Jackson. Wayne
Charlie West.
At Sandford level, and
Yeah, it's a good pizza. I'm trying to get it done quickly. They did get a key forward though, so I was right.
He did. He played some good state footy at under 18 level, plays back and forward. Again, his marking's his real asset. Thumping hands and just reads it so well.
Is that two consecutive?
As a premiership player too, amongst the best.
Well, it's pretty much like all keys.
With his 17 disposals. Then he got to combine level and showed he could run.
So the Bulldogs do have the next one now. I know it doesn't say that on my end, but that's just because they've rearranged everything and they've made trades and all that. So it's becoming kind of hard to keep up.
Yeah, it plays a real variety of roles, or at least got the capability to do it.
All right, no worries, and I appreciate it, Dame.
We just saw Justin
NQT.
sitting in that Collingwood
I get you want to hear it, but I also
like Charlie West,
don't want it to be too loud to the point that no one can actually hear when I talk. Because I'd still say most people watching would
and the ability to play at both ends of the ground.
Probably would rather that.
Powerful. Shifter mentioned his speed. He also tested in the top 10 for a standing vertical jump at 70 centimetres as well. So,
alrighty, Dogs are up quickly.
With pick 51, the Western Bulldogs have selected Sam Davidson from Richmond VFL.
He's the guy that I was talking about from Richmond VFL.
Junior Football Club.
I believe that's another.
Shifter, another fantastic story.
Yeah, General Ford.
He won the medal for the best young player in the VFL, which in the past has shown to be a wonderful ticket through to draft night.
Yeah, that's the Fothergill round.
What's meant to be a reaction to the draft stream, yeah.
For boys that had won the Liston Trophy and the Brown
medal,
so a very famous
Bulldogs.
award that's given. But this boy's the
mate, these picks are coming in too quickly. I can't actually keep up.
In recent years. This year
I'm trying to keep up with like everything. The actual watching the stream, watching the draft, reading chat, updating the graphics, and having my food.
Rounds basically in country Victoria, and a few mates said, "I think you're a bit good for this. You might have a crack at not only being a doctor one day, but maybe being an AFL player."
What a great story!
And then he come and tested. His speed was excellent.
So he was never actually expecting to be drafted until recently, from what I've been hearing.
State combine level.
Good on him.
Said, I'm also an athletic fella that's well prepared. No surprise he's drafted. He's 190 centimetres, so he's a boy that would play as that third tall.
Funny thing is, Charlie West's dad's biggest Carlton supporter is.
Diamond in the rough get up.
Well, he's going to have to be a Collingwood fan now, you would think. I do find it weird, like, if you're a really massive Collingwood fan and your son gets drafted to the rival club, do you just switch just like that? Some do, some don't. Some literally don't. They just support their son and that's it. It's kind of funny how that works. All right, well, Cats are up next.
And a promising career ahead for Sam Davidson.
Shifter, you talk about inspiring stories. I mean, being a medical student is no mean feat either, to be able to
cheers.
That and
Soligo.
Must be a remarkable young man.
Yeah,
that was really fun to film. I'm actually very keen on doing something else like that. One of the more fun collabs I've done in the last
who also won that award,
year and a bit, really.
The special award from the VFL. His aerial ability, his work rate's fantastic, and just so rewarding to see that boys of 23 years of age can get opportunities like this.
Sammy says Dom Brew.
So we've got Geelong up next with pick number 52.
I don't even know when Essendon have their next pick. When a team's going to start passing. Surely Brisbane do that soon. Or have they already traded away all that? Yeah, it looks like they've just been trading away.
Yeah, and we touched on their need, didn't we, for a ruckman, Whether
Where's the
Geelong
Brisbane
start to
two
go
other
down
picks?
that
I feel like they just traded them
path, we're
away,
about to find out.
but they didn't put it up on the
With
screen
pick
or mention it.
52, Geelong have selected Jacob Moliere from
When is
Sturt and the Onkaparinga
Dobson getting
Valley
picked?
Football Club.
South Australia.
What if he
having
doesn't
a
get
real
picked?
Moment in the middle part of this draft, we're seeing a lot of talent snared.
And they've gone for the young, developing ruckman, a boy that has grown 6 centimetres in the last 12 months or so. He was Alex Dobson's ruck mate at Sturt.
Jacob Moyer. We are next. We could get him.
Emerged late in the year with some of his form, his marking,
Another
his
ruckman.
ability. It
So the
was
Cats
pretty
do
special.
select the
In fact,
ruckman,
it
which is
was dynamic
probably
when he was tested. He was one of the very
a
quick
good call for
players.
them.
Not only is he 201 centimetres, he does a 2.92 seconds.
And
for the
now
20
the
metres,
Saints
so
are
an
up again.
absolute standout.
I feel like this could be our last
Still only
selection, though.
his
We've already
draft,
had
but,
4.
You know, the ruckman can take you 2 or 3 years to develop, and what better environment than at an AFL footy club for this young fellow.
Do we
Again,
go a
he's
ruck?
Just turned 18, so a young boy that will take time, but there's so many elite.
Dobson can go on the
attributes
rookie.
that he has,
Yeah, I
and the
know,
physical
but
makeup and the way he
I'm
plays.
surprised that I haven't
Are you surprised
seen him
that
get
Alex
taken yet.
Dobson hasn't been picked up at this stage?
Yeah, very surprised. You know, it might be something to do with his basketball aspirations at some point. They might be wondering whether he would, fulfil a commitment to play football all his life, or be a bit torn between the two sports. I can't think of any other reason, because
Why don't they do drafts in reverse order?
It was there. He's the All-Australian ruckman pick this year on performance in those games.
How would that
They were
work?
Fairly elite. He gets around the ground well.
How could you do a
they're
draft in
very
reverse
trick in
order?
the book for a developing player.
So the whole point is picking with your first pick, and then
St Kilda have selected Alexander Dodson.
Yeah, we got him.
Sturt and the Payneham
Dobson.
Norwood Junior Football Club.
Well, there we go.
Bolter.
There we go, Shifter. It's been quite
Big Bolter.
the wait. I think everyone was expecting Alex to be taken much earlier, but fantastic news. He's headed to the St
I'm
Kilda
not
Football
happy.
Club.
I'm not
Love
too
watching him
disappointed
play
with
this
that
year
at
in
all.
those national games. He was a standout. He gets around the ground like a rock rover.
What position is he? He's a
competes
ruckman, but
in the
I
end. He
think
follows up
we're
so
going to
well at
need
ground level and supports
to
his
have a
smaller
second
players.
ruckman develop
And
through
his
the ranks
teammate at
soon.
Sturt, we're just mentioning Mullen,
And
has
he's
taken
apparently the
pick
best
before
rated
him.
ruckman
The
as
two
well.
boys that shared the ruck duty, so an amazing coincidence that's bobbed up there. But young Dodson, elite in 2 sports. He
good.
represented Australia early in the year in basketball. Had obviously
And he was a
college
basketballer
offers in
also.
basketball to go there and pursue that.
Means that he
But,
has the athletic
nominated for the
capabilities.
draft, and now he's going to get his chance for the Saints.
Isn't he a slider?
Couldn't agree more, Shifter. I love
Oh,
he doesn't
slider, I
come
meant.
in close either for a
He's
big
a
fella,
slider.
does
Did I
he?
say
It's,
bolter? I meant
at
slider.
203 centimetres.
But still,
You can just
should have been
see
picked earlier,
guys that
so
have come
not
through
bad.
from
All right, that is the
basketball
full
type background.
table.
His
We have to
lateral
now
movement
flip
and
the
his
page.
turn, he turns on a dime for a bloke of his size, so super impressive. And as we see in the vision here, he doesn't. It's not just his ruck work around the ground. He genuinely.
I really would like to know if
does
this is going to
take
go
contested
past
marks
10
and,
o'clock.
You know, again, to get an All-Australian player at pick 53.
Amazing.
Alex, it has happened.
All
You've
Australian.
Had to wait, but you are an AFL footballer. How's the last few hours been for you?
Oh, I mean, it's been pretty crazy. I was on last night and
Finally getting an
missed out
interview as
last
well. I
night,
don't
but-
think we've
and
seen
then
an interview in a
the
while.
time, so yeah, it's been pretty crazy, but just so happy now, and yeah, so happy it's happened.
Were you confident your name would get called out eventually? I mean, we all thought it was going to, or did the doubts start to creep in?
I tried to remain confident the whole time.
You got a nice amount of viewers tonight.
got
Yeah, it's still well.
a little
But
down
day
set,
2 as
but
well,
still
because I
trying to remain
was
confident.
originally
Yeah,
not
so
doing
far
day
it's
2 because I just
fit,
didn't
so
think
it's
there
fine.
would be much
As
of an
long as you
appeal.
weren't throwing the Sharon aside and going looking for the basketball and going out in the backyard to shoot a few hoops. I mean, you did always have that as another option, yeah?
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, fully focused on footy now, and yeah. can't
All right,
get started.
so Sydney,
Alex,
let's
when did
just
you make that
go
decision?
through and
During
actually
this
see
year,
what teams
when did
are
you say, well, I
coming
think I
up.
wanna Make AFL, that will be my dream.
I think the decision kind of came around August, around that time, towards the end of the Nationals. I kind of, just talking with coaches, kind of realised, what I could do, and yeah, that's when the decision came.
Well, we've likened you to Brodie Grundy, who's been a fantastic player at AFL level.
Jeez, I'd take anything
You
half of what
yourself
Grundy
anyone
ended up
within
being.
the AFL and the way you play in the ruck?
Yeah, a little bit of Brodie Grundy. I've watched a fair bit of Luke Jackson this year. I think pretty similar pathway, and So those are kind of two guys. Ron Marshall as well. Yeah, can't wait to get to the club and kind of pick his brains, and yeah, it'll be amazing.
Yeah, you've got a good one to learn from. Congratulations, Alex. It's so fabulous to be joined by your family and friends there, and it's been a big couple of weeks for you. So go and enjoy this, and we look forward to seeing you play for the St Kilda Football Club.
Well, I'm looking forward to that. St Kilda. I'll go pick 60 surely. Can't pass up on a Resi's best and fairest.
Footballers that have basketball backgrounds and various degrees.
Maybe they will draft you, mate.
This guy had a serious basketball background. I mean, linked to the Adelaide 36ers, some Division 1 college offers, represented South Australia in football and basketball 2 years ago, and only played basketball in 2023. No football. So the fact he is now on an AFL list is a wonderful and
didn't play any footy in 2023. Maybe that's why he fell down a little bit.
He's not about to ring the Adelaide 36ers and ask whether he can come down tomorrow. So, a great story. And he saw his mate go the pick before, and he must have been thinking, gee whiz, when's my turn going to come? And it didn't take long. So lots to celebrate. And geez, the crew that were around him, they looked like they were.
It is crazy, but you see stories. You actually hear more and more stories like that occur. And if he's ranked that highly, can't be shit.
We have a bid here on Lucas
Oh,
Camporelli.
fucking bit. Oh, actually, to be fair, I was expecting this.
Getting the nod there, and we're hoping that Carlton will match this soon and complete a magical and wonderful night for the Camporelli family.
Oh, they're up on the toes there in the room, aren't they? The Camporelli family. Oh, I think the Carlton boys have got to do it, don't they? Hey, add up the points. Count your fingers and toes. If we got enough points. It didn't take long.
With pick 54, Carlton have selected Lucas
There you go.
Camporelli from Glenelg.
Teams love drafting basketball players. Are you getting a new channel banner? Yeah, I will. It's for sure due an upgrade.
At the bottom there, both of them, the twin brothers joining Carlton
But I
together.
won't do it
The son of Scott Camporelli, of
until
course,
next
great
season
in navy
starts.
blue.
Before that.
Oh, this is a great story. I mean, everyone is smiling with this one, Shifter.
Oh, that's why we love the father-son rule, don't
Well, there you go.
We've watched these boys play for
I'm
the
sure
last 3 years. Loved
Carlton
them,
fans will be happy with that.
developing. Right from the first time I seen them, I said they've got AFL potential written all over them. Very coachable boys, terrific athletically. They look like they would grow. They're now 184, 185 centimetre players.
So we got another
And
midfielder.
We talked about Ben earlier. Well, Lucas is your left footer. He's a stylish mover and a stylish kick of the footy as well, with great vision. And he
So now
works
Sydney have the
so
next
hard
pick.
to
It's
get in
just
the handball chains. He
a
supports
mess
his
to get
teammates
these
and,
things organised. So
looks
many
like a
matched
great
bids and
young
all that.
fella to have in a group too.
All right, let's go and chat to Lucas now. Lucas, what a moment. You're headed to Carlton alongside your twin brother. Talk to us about the last half an hour or so since your bro was...
When was the last time 2 twins got drafted for the same club in one draft class? Does anyone actually know?
I'm stoked, to be honest, to get to Carlton and do it with your twin brother. It's pretty surreal. I'm so grateful for the opportunity, yeah.
So obviously this was always the dream scenario and what you had hoped and wished for and even worked towards. But how confident were you?
I don't think that's ever happened. Old and Jade.
Going to land at Carlton?
Oh, I wouldn't
Maybe.
say extremely confident.
Don't even
but
know
yeah,
anything
I was-
about
I
Jade
was
and Davey though.
pretty happy with my season and both our abilities that we.
I don't think he did. He actually do anything?
Oh yeah, I couldn't be happier with the result. I'm just so glad that I've got someone like my twin brother.
Didn't we have a
beside me
father-son?
throughout the journey.
Yeah,
I'm
these are
beyond
father-son
grateful for the
picks.
opportunity.
Yeah, Lucas, congratulations, mate, once again to the Camporelli family. But I asked Ben
Elwood
before
Peckett
about the number
Cooper.
16. He didn't really give me much. So is it now a paper, scissors, rock off, or has Dad got a
Did
favourite
Jaden
that he
actually
might
play,
step
like,
in
any
and,
games?
and hand the number over to?
Yeah, no, not quite. We've kind of made a deal throughout all our juniors. Whoever went first would most probably get it, but we'll see what happens. I like to think I'm Dad's favourite, so who knows?
And Lucas, tell us about the father-son rule and how it works for boys that are interstate. You're an SA. The father-son rule, it was for Carlton. Did they get you across, and when did they start doing that?
Yeah, no, Carlton had been unreal to us.
Yeah, right.
Sort
You
of
got
started with
delisted in
COVID,
play.
To be honest, so it was a bit hard.
There
to
you
get
go,
in,
Nick.
probably a bit
You
raw
take
at
that.
the time.
You were talking about that a bit
yeah, it was
earlier.
good. We
But
came
that's
over when we were about 16 for about a weekend.
what you were
spent some
after.
time with the boys, and then as we got a bit older, we stayed with a few of the players, which was unreal to pick their brains. Yeah, I can't thank them enough. They've developed me and Ben both physically and as people so much. So yeah, just beyond grateful.
And who did you model your game on, Lucas? Whether it be at
I'm not going to say much now. I want people, if they want to listen to this interview, just to be able to listen to it.
Yeah, it's obviously pretty hard to go past Walshy, but yeah, I was a big fan of Errol Goulden, how he goes about it as well. The inside, outside, great user by foot. So yeah, they're probably the two ones that when people ask me, I like to say them. Yeah.
An incredible night for you, Lucas, and also your brother, Ben. Congratulations. Enjoy what
Swans
is
up next.
a truly remarkable moment for the family, and we look forward to seeing you both in navy blue really soon.
Thank you guys, appreciate it.
Well done, team. Enjoy.
If the
that's
Swans
one
will
of the
actually pick a
highlights of the
player, they
night,
might.
isn't it? I
What if they
mean,
pass?
We've seen two sets of twins both realise their dreams tonight. It's fabulous.
Yeah, I can't imagine what it's like for the boys. I mean, Ben obviously had all the accolades across the course of the season, and you know, for Lucas to sit back, but as we've said prior, they're both on a list now.
Okay, we have a Sydney Swans pick at number 55, and it is a bid pending.
It's always a
on the
fucking
Melbourne
bid
Academy
pending with
player,
Sydney. It's always
Andrew,
so.
Who is the brother of Mac Andrew.
Riak Andrew.
And a great intercepting defender.
Wow.
Oh, he's the guy Melbourne were
This is
after.
big news. This is fantastic. We saw the way Mac unfolded as a player this year with the Gold Coast Suns.
The Scott brothers?
Playing back initially and, of course, then
Was it the
forward.
same year,
Some
though?
fantastic marks. And we've watched React 2 develop over...
Like, do
the
they
last
both get
number of
drafted
years.
to
He's had
Brisbane
some
Lions?
injury
Oh.
setbacks. He's in his 19th year. So as an approved 19-year-old who was able to
Possibly
play
the Scott brothers,
at
actually.
the Dandenong Stingrays and for Vic Country in national championships. And he showed some very...
Chris
special
Scott got
talent
drafted
last year in a game that I'd watched, again with his
1994 for the
those
Bears.
boys that is lightly built, but one touch when it's in the air.
With pick 55,
Brad Scott.
Sydney have selected Riak Andrew
No, they're not
from
twins.
the Dandenong Stingrays and the Berwick
No, are
Junior
they?
Football Club.
No, they are twins, but
So Melbourne
Scott
passing
got
there,
drafted
and Riak
later.
heads to the Sydney Swans.
There you
This
go,
is
didn't
a
know that.
Great addition for them.
Riak Andrew. So Melbourne didn't want the to go the player.
See things a wee bit differently. They love the intercept marking ability of Riak, and so do we. It'll take time. He'll take time because he's only lightly built. He's missed a couple of critical years of development with a few injuries, but there's been some very positive signs in some of the great games he's played for Dandenong this year.
So Sydney didn't match Cochrane, who went to the Pies, but do get an academy by Andrew. So
They've got Andrew. They've got the brother of Mac, who's one of the most exciting young defenders or plays really in the competition.
It's very un-Kinnear Beatson-like, but...
I know, yeah, I didn't expect there to be that many past bids over the last few 6 or 7 picks.
You know, we said they needed a key defender. Well, they've definitely got a tall and they've got a real project.
How
player
tall is he?
that's,
Is he like as tall as Andrew? Because he's like
unfold over the next few years,
203 or
and
something.
I'm sure his brother will share some of his insights and pass on as much knowledge as he can about
Ranked
making that
95, so he's actually lucky to get
Another
selected.
great story. We've got
Good on him.
56 for the Pies.
With pick 56, Collingwood have selected Will Hayes from Claremont and the Subiaco Junior Football Club.
From WA, this guy.
Boy that, a Claremont boy that played in premiership side this year. They're back-to-back premiers over there.
Semi-slider, according to the Fox
boy.
Footy.
I love his kicking, right and left. The way he kicks it low and hard as well. He's brave in the air too for a lightly built young fellow, courageous as they come. Again,
Will
very,
Hayes.
very elite with his testing.
You happy with that, Jay Tomo?
Very good football at representative level for WA this year.
Yeah, watched him on grand final day at Optus Stadium, Sarah, and absolutely loved what I saw. It reminded me of Ollie Hollins, the way he got up and down the ground, and as Shifter said...
They need to show more highlights to these players, though. That's the thing.
Lots to like about Will Hayes. I'm a little bit surprised.
All right, for Adelaide fans, you guys actually have a pick coming up soon. You've got pick number
His athletic profile is exceptional, and
59.
at the end of the day, the Claremont Footy Club are continuing
And
to produce a little bit like
Brisbane
their,
have pick
their
60.
counterparts, the Sandringham
But it
Dragons.
wouldn't surprise me if
So
Brisbane
well
don't
done
even
to
bother with
Will,
that pick
and
because they don't need it.
Congratulations to the Collingwood Football Club. Well, it certainly is a big night tonight, and tomorrow, well, it is a huge day. Day one of the first test in Perth, Australia and India. And
Oh,
you
the
won't
first
miss a
test
ball
is on
on
tomorrow.
Fox Cricket.
Fuck yeah, I can watch that. I forgot it was on tomorrow.
Relentless. They've become the powerhouse of world
Is this another rad? Is that the end of the second round? Or should I say the third round?
I think we've got the team to beat.
Have you got anything in mind for 50k subs yet? I haven't. Well, it needs to happen, and then I'll have something in mind. It's not going to happen. Well, not this summer, I don't think.
time to get noisy.
Yep, another ad. So North have the next pick here.
$50 back in bonus bets.
Who do we reckon the first team will be to pass their draft picks? I'm going to go Brisbane.
Download the app today. That's what I'm talking about. And enjoy all our
Shane Crawford.
specials. It's time to bet noisy.
I've never heard of that ad, that company before in my life. Why do we need so many of these sports betting companies? There's no need. Well, there is a need for them because they make money.
Come forth from your sit-down thrones. Come forth to Picklebet.
Scott Camperelli back in the day was getting 45 disposals in games in the past. Hopefully Ben and Lucas.
What you could be buying instead.
Well, Scott was one of Carlton's better
We
players.
had a look at the tapes and have some info on that runner.
Hang on. It's the jockey Merv Hughes.
Sure is. Don't ask how we got there.
Now he's eating a meat pie. No wonder he missed a place.
Race replays on the Sportsbet app, mate.
There's always more to the story. Watch vision of a horse's recent runs.
Next year I'll get 50k, but I'll hopefully I'm going to try and aim for 60k.
Chances
Fuck
are you're
it.
about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
Can we see the playlist? Yeah, you can see that's day 2, the start of day 2. Just have a little look there. I've got a little legend on the bottom left. So if it is coloured in red, they're a defender. Coloured in orange, they're a midfielder. Yellow, forward. Blue, ruck. Just a little bit of an extra thing to add for those that might want to know that. And then this is currently where we're at. I have no idea. I think we're just going to go through 3-4 clubs at a time. So Brisbane also have pick 60, so I might chuck that in. But I feel like they could pass.
Progress.
Who will they? Maybe they draft a forward, but then they need an immediate replacement for Danaher.
Clarity of
I
vision.
doubt a pick 60 would be an immediate replacement.
Path forward. A luxurious space for imagination to thrive. And creating a presence impossible to ignore.
I like the goal.
Q7. That's progress you can feel.
We're going to give it a crack. Hipwood replaces Danaher. I don't think Hipwood can do it all himself.
40 kilos while on the road. Eric reached goal weight without missing the 19th hole. We've helped over 2 million Aussies lose weight with the Man Shake.
Be ready to lend at Mate Your Keys. With Allianz Comprehensive Car Insurance.
When do Colin have their next selection then? If they're going to pick up his brother. Let's try and get the subs up. If you haven't subbed yet, let's get the subs up. 41.9k is the goal. We're going to need to start getting a few now. So if you haven't subscribed yet, or if you've got someone who might... Oh shit, I dropped my phone on my cock. Who might enjoy the content, that would be great. And also, I've got the Instagram up on the screen. I'll do some more Instagram shout-outs for any Instagram followers we get. Jordan Clark. Not the actual Jordan Clark. And David Yortave. I will
For 40
shout
years,
out
Medicare has been the cornerstone of the Australian healthcare system.
the next few
Now
people that
we're
do
investing in
decide to
Medicare's
follow.
future to make it stronger, with more investment in bulk billing, enhanced support for mental health, and
Nick,
more urgent
stop arguing in my
needs.
chat.
So whether you need a GP often or just now and then, Medicare's here to keep you and your family healthy, now and in the future. Learn more about Medicare benefits at medicare.gov.au/stronger.
/stronger.
Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
Have a look at this. Ben and Lucas Camperelli.
Now I got a few
twin
subs.
sons
Cheers,
of
cheers.
Scott Camperelli, both headed to Carlton and will be in the navy blue in
Good,
2025.
good.
Such exciting scenes. Ben was taken first. Lucas had a nervous half
Chuck
an
it to
hour or
subscribers
so
only
before
mode for the rest of the stream. Why
his
not?
twin brother, and well, that's what we love about our great game. The father-son rule is spectacular, and gosh, Scott must be so proud tonight.
We wear maroon. That actually needs to be
Imagine the pressure that's
on
these
top.
boys shifted, let alone being twins. So
Someone else
we all
subscribed.
know
You
that
should be able to
run
actually
the
see
AFL
who
and
is
control that
subscribed.
Stuff, mate. Please don't touch the father-son.
Never.
and don't touch the twins. Allow twins to go wherever it takes them. Great to see two sets.
If they touch the
of
father-son,
twins
they'll do it the year before Nick
rallies and,
Rewalt's son
the
gets
Whitlocks.
Fabulous.
into the
All
draft.
right, next on the clock we have the North Melbourne Football Club, and of course North Melbourne had picked 2 in the draft yesterday. On night 1 they took.
I think this is their second pick, North. Oh no, it isn't. They also got Whitlock because they had to trade. Shit trade.
Late as well.
With pick 57, North
The Navy Blues.
Urquhart from East Fremantle and Melville Junior Football Club.
Where did they go?
Fantastic to see. Like the way this boy played for WA this year at under-18 level. He'd missed most of last year with a hip injury, so he didn't have a starting...
Weird, they haven't updated on the
But
Fox Footy
moment he stepped
broadcast.
out there playing for his state, he played with passion and brilliance around stoppage. He's got elite hands, this kid. He sets the play up with his ability to win that contest and then have the vision to create for
Which
his
club do you think
teammates.
has the best draft so far?
He had some good games for over 20 possessions against the Allies.
You know,
and against
Richmond
Vic
obviously
Metro.
won the
He
draft.
loved to see the
Brisbane
boys
did
that
well,
do
and
against
West
the
Coast I
Metro
actually
because
think
they're
did
the
quite well
benchmark of it
also.
all. And then he come to combine was outstanding, sub 3 seconds.
But I'll obviously do a little bit more in depth of
Endurance
a
6 minutes
analysis and just go through every team how they went. Probably get a video on that tomorrow.
Very quickly. And the fact is underdone, the boy from East Fremantle, underdone in his 17th year. So massive upside, I think.
Why have they not put it up on the screen? I've got no idea who's been selected.
His ability to get from contest to contest through that work rate that you touched on, Shifter, and that athletic capability. I actually spoke to Glenn Jakovic today, who coached him.
You saw
as a
centre-half
junior
forward
for a
play
year, and
T20 last
he
night.
just said that's been a theme throughout his entire
Forgot about that
junior
guy.
history, Luke Urquhart, in his level of competitiveness. He said he
You think
hadn't
Ben
seen
Patton will join the Giants in
too
the
much
rookie
like it,
draft
and,
tomorrow afternoon?
you know,
Is
it
he?
is, as you say, Shifter, great
I mean, he
to
got
see
delisted. He's a
somebody
chance.
like that.
I
think of a
don't know.
Curtis that, you know, just
Don't
had
really
an
know if he'll be
absolute
able to
appetite
fit
for the
where he
contest
would
and
fit.
had the
I
work
guess
rate not seen by too many prior.
they might
So
want to replace a
Luke
quick
Urquhart,
replacement
really nice
for a few of their
selection by the Kangas.
defenders they lost.
We've got the Suns
There we
on
go,
the clock
Luke
next at 58. We believe
Urquhart.
they are talking to Richmond about a trade of picks. Shifter, we've spoken about the strength of this draft, the depth.
How do you
of
pronounce
this
that guy's
draft.
name?
Some people call it the next super draft. Of course, 2001 is the famous draft that we hold up highest with some of the greatest players of the modern era in that draft. How do you think this group will stack up, and who are they chasing? Remind us who was in that 2001 draft.
What was that draft where like there were no good plays, pretty much?
Ball and Chris Judd up the top.
It was the one where Phil Thorpe and Jamara were in. It might have been the 2020 draft. The 2020 draft wasn't that good, I don't think.
24. Sam Mitchell, Lee Montagna, Gary Ablett Jr. We even get to Dane Swan at 58. What a champion he was. Brian Lake at 71. So that'll test this draft.
Yeah, look at that.
Brian Lake and Norm Smith.
We drafted quite well. We got Luke Ball, Nick Dalsano, and Lee Montagna. That's a good. That's really good. That's not normally what St Kilda do. Draft well.
Unbelievable.
29 premierships on that list, Shifter.
And then 17 played 200 games or more. You know, there were 6 that played 300 games. So they're champions of the game. I don't think you'll ever beat that super draft of 2001.
So if you're doing the draft again tonight, who are your top 3? That's a horrible
Hodge, Ball,
question,
Judd, Hale, Bartel,
we say that
Brenton Riley probably doesn't deserve to be on that. I guess he played 200 games.
Sam Walsh and
Isaac Remington, the King Boys.
2020 draft went till midnight.
Who joined us last night,
Did it? Yeah, that's because they had it all in one day. It's going to take ages when they do that. They've got to start it earlier.
All Australian, and you look at that list.
Like at
The
6:30.
majority of those players will be in the AFL Hall of Fame, and there's quite a few of them.
Adam
who you
Schneider at
imagine
pick
will become
60,
legends one
pick
day.
71
You're
Brian Lake.
talking Luke Hodge,
So we're getting into the territory where
Ablett Jr.
like,
will
next pick is
absolutely
literally
be a
what a
legend
Dane
at
Swan
one stage.
was, pick
These are
58.
some unbelievable players. So the class of 2024, you've got some work to do if you're going to catch this lot. The challenge has been set.
You mean Sam Day, not Sam Ball.
Looked at me sideways last night and ducked off without having a beer afterwards when I said this was the super draft.
Anyone followed me on Instagram?
No, 2001.
Any shout outs?
A remarkable
Oh, we got a
list,
few.
and, you know,
Elliot
a player like Dane
Panel,
Swan at pick 58,
OSKX,
it's,
La
you're
Combra
right, it's
1121,
23 classes,
Leonardo
up to-
Dorocco, and then Graz.
Gold Coast with pick 58 now. If they were to land a Dane Swan,
No, I won't be able to do
they'd
the
pretty
rookie draft. I've
happy with themselves.
not
of
got
course, a
time
Brownlow
for
medalist,
that.
a premiership star.
And I don't really have a massive interest in the rookie draft either.
Dane Swan, but he was an out-and-out champion of the game and a great...
Pick 79, James Hurd. Yeah, that's probably the best player to be picked lower than that.
Rules in those days, the clubs could take a 17-year-old.
I don't even know if pick 79 will be taken tonight.
Played in the grand final for the Calder Cannons and wasn't outstanding, but Noel Judkins, with a great eye for talent, has seen it. He's the guy that found James Hurd too.
For those that have missed the first round or the draft, this is the recap real quick of what we saw in the first round.
He said was the defining thing with Dane Swan.
Right here.
Ran at Pax
And then
that eye to say,
the
okay, it's going to be this side or that side.
first
That's what he did then in his
bunch of the second day.
So the moral of the story
And
is
then we have
picked
obviously
at this late stage in the
current
draft
day.
could well be
Dane
you
Swan,
know, a
champion.
generational player, a champion for sure. There's still some quality and players all develop at different rates. I mean, you mentioned Shifter.
What's
it's a
this delay?
three-year
There shouldn't be a
journey that
delay
most
now.
players are watching these players, but you know, some of them are late maturers and will develop later, and some of them will benefit from getting in an AFL system and having AFL coaches
I
developing.
seriously do
them
not
as
like
they
red
go
on
through.
red for the Gold Coast logo.
Development's pivotal, isn't it? We've touched on that.
I mean, they have gold
I
on
can't
red on the
stress
shirts, which
importance
looks
of that
better.
enough, but it's interesting too, isn't it? We talked about the pressure on father-sons before, and
Buckley
had this conversation with
Buckley
Fox Sports' own
89,
Brett
was he
Johnson
that
and
late?
His wife Donna yesterday with young Jack, who's pursuing a career in car racing. You've got Nathan Buckley's kids in go-kart racing and going down that path. So as much as we love, you know, we see Gary Ablett on the board and the Camporelli twins.
He wasn't
and
pick
the like.
89.
It's not everyone's cup of tea, but who knows? Maybe they'll be racing around Sandown earning millions in a few years'
He wasn't
time.
pick 89.
So we spoke before about the top draft picks, and one of those was Finn O'Sullivan, who has landed at North Melbourne with pick number 2.
Oh, they've done a trade with
some great
Richmond.
scenes where
Why?
He caught up with his Vic Country teammate there.
Dean Kemp was the last pick, so was Taylor
So they're both
Walker.
in North Melbourne colours,
Why are they doing a
and
trade
two colours
now?
all round, a special moment. They're going to be teammates at North Melbourne for hopefully a very long time, and part of that talented group of youngsters that are looking to
Well,
lead
it doesn't
North Melbourne
surprise me that they sometimes need to take a little bit of time. If a play that they were going to originally select has been taken before them, but they shouldn't be taking this long. They should have like other options written down. This is pissing me off a slight bit.
Like I said, I've been a little bit critical of the Kangaroos in previous years, overlooking Logan McDonald, not going all in for Harley Reid last year, but they pulled the trigger.
So Richmond have the
night,
next
and
pick
it was
now.
a surprise to all of us, but let's hope that pays off in absolute spades in bringing Matt Whitlock into the club, and hopefully it'd be nice if they can fast track him to slot in alongside Nick Larkey.
So we've got Richmond, who have been
Finally, they've done it
with pick
quickly.
58. Here we go.
With pick 58, Richmond have selected Jasper Alger from the Oakland
Never heard of this guy
Chargers
either.
and the
It's
Warragul
probably going to be a
Football
very
Netball
common thing now that I don't know most of the plays coming up.
Yeah, strange combination to some here. A boy from Warragul playing for
Jasper
Oakland.
Alger. Apparently, though, he's a bargain buy, though.
Boys that come down on scholarship to school.
Maybe I
or
should
just
have
go
had
to
an
school.
idea.
He's at Caulfield Grammar, a very good player there at Caulfield Grammar.
Pick 61 now
And
should be
that's
our
why he
last.
Represented Vic Country then in championships.
Yeah, I would
Games
believe
pretty
so.
special.
No teams
3
are passed
goals
as of yet.
versus just over the 6 or around the 6 foot mark, about 182. But he's got speed off the mark. He's strong overhead for his size.
And another trade. Adelaide I don't think Adelaide going to get another player.
Bags of 7 or 8 goals in school games, and we've seen flashes of that then at the Oakley Chargers. And as things would happen,
Was,
he broke a finger just on the eve of
the
the
North
finals
Melbourne
this year, so it just
draftee,
didn't
what
seem top
position
off
was
in
he?
gear. Looking forward to that and what we'd seen in championships mid-year, and so that's probably why he slid through here. But some of his games in the middle of the year were pretty special.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? I mean, we saw the Richmond Footy Club trade with the Gold Coast Suns to actually jump in and take Jasper Alger, so they were they're
let's have a
obviously
look.
keen to get him through the door. He's, as a small player, what I love about Jasper Alger, he tracks it really well over his shoulder shifter as the ball's coming in to a forward 50 contest.
Come
and
on.
we all know his
Get on with
capability
it.
around.
Oh, the
around
trade between the
traffic and when
Saints
ball
and the
hits the
Lions. So
ground.
we're getting another
Got a lot of
pick.
time when in possession. And
Fuck, we're
I
wanting
think over time
players.
he'll have the ability
How
to
many of them are
chip
actually
through
going to be
the
that
midfield
good,
as
though?
well.
You mentioned Caulfield Grammar.
He's a midfielder,
small
all right.
forward from Caulfield Grammar in last year's
So now we have
draft made
pick.
quite the
I
splash
knew
in
Brisbane.
Nick
Well, they're
Watson,
just
who's
trading. They're
become
not passing.
A cult hero in AFL circles. So
What
if
could they
Justin can have
possibly gain from
similar
these trades at
impact,
this
that'd
rate?
be fantastic.
And he, as we mentioned, he kicked those sorts of numbers that Nick was kicking at Caulfield Grammar in a couple of games this year. So similar traits.
So we're looking now at the Adelaide Crows.
So Adelaide are going to take a pick soon.
We're just waiting to see what this could be. We know that they're in the market for a father-son as well, so we could potentially
Only
have
150
another great
likes and
story
over.
on our
Yeah,
hands.
true. We could get a whole lot more, but I'm not begging people to like
Pick is
tonight.
in, so it's imminent. Would this be the time to... We'll see.
With pick 59, Adelaide have selected Tyler Welsh from Woodville, West Torrens.
Is he that
and
father-son?
Henley Football Club Juniors.
The son of Scott Welsh, who played 129 games for
Yep.
the Crows.
Yeah, and of course played at
There you
North,
go.
and played at the Western Bulldogs, but only enough for the Crows to qualify.
Key
after that,
forward.
That 100 games you need to play. His highlights package would be pretty special.
Doesn't look too bad.
He dominated some games at under 18 level, both as a bottom ager last year and then this year.
There you go. Sarah's up and about. Any other Crows fans? There should be a few more in chat. Is that another yellow video maker? There you go. Two Westville, Woodville West Torrens players.
A lead up forward at 191. He's got speed off the mark. He's hard to.
All right, we're next
match
now,
up on with that
and
initial
I really
speed.
couldn't
You
tell
need
you
to
who we're
be
going to
in
get.
his tank, and he's going to push up the ground further.
But whoever it is,
those hands are great. His goal sense
I'll
is
welcome
great.
him with
And
both
this boy
arms
from Adelaide
to the club,
stays
even
in
though
Adelaide and pursues
I
his
do not
dream with
have
the
any
Adelaide
control over the
Crows.
club.
Yeah, really liked what I saw of him in his 17th year shifter. That's where I was ultra impressed. And
Do I
reminded me
understand
a
that?
lot
Yeah, I
of
do,
his
mate.
father in the way he went about playing the game. He was dynamic. He had.
But I'm not as invested.
very, very
I've
good
never been as
attributes in
invested
the
as
air,
other
as well
things.
as once the footy hit the deck, his lateral movement, capacity to bounce, and it's challenging for some of these guys to stay up
I'm not
for
a
2
draft
years in a row,
expert.
particularly the key position forwards. And as we saw,
I
on the
normally
vision
am just
there,
casual
he's
when
got
it
a bit of
comes
a
to it.
likeness to Darcy Fogarty.
With pick 60, St Kilda have selected Patrick Said from the Calder Cannons and the
Patrick.
Sunbury Lions Junior Football Club.
We've drafted a
And
player with the
Chiefs
same
St
name as me.
Kilda traded up to jump ahead of Brisbane to get this pick.
I do not know
Not
this guy. He's
surprised.
not even
What
rated.
I saw late in the year with this boy with his kicking ability. That's the elite part of his game. Whether it's on the run or set shots for goal, he buried them every single time. And it stood out. He's a nice athlete, all round with his speed, agility, tested well, had a good look at him there.
This
Nice
guy
size.
follows Mark Tanevik on
Get your
Instagram.
fundamentals right is the message. Don't fumble the ball.
Get
Be a
fucked.
good decision maker and then finish.
Did I
when you
hear
get
the Sunbury
chance to get a
Lions?
goal. He did all of that.
Possibly.
Was one of the better players for the Calder Cannons throughout the year. And of course,
Patrick said hi.
The amount of talent in Melbourne makes it hard for every kid to push through and to get into Vic Metro. So he couldn't quite get in there. But he continued that great form of his at Calder all year. It has been rewarded.
Yeah, worth their weight in gold, aren't they? The goal-kicking mids, and I love his ability to work both ways. I touched on it last night, but sometimes due to the fact that they've always got the ball in hand, these talented young men, they don't have that instinctive capability defensively, but Patrick said
It's another
definitely
midfielder
has.
as well. So we've drafted two,
Seb
but they're
Ross
later.
goes out of the footy club. He was a fantastic player for the Saints for a long time, and this guy's got some really nice movement on the inside shifter, and I love the way he just eases himself through traffic and finds the gaps. It's a really special talent when you see mids do that, and ones that can hit the scoreboard especially.
Surely we don't go
Patrick
another
is the
player.
sixth player that St Kilda have drafted in
Yes,
this draft.
already
Mick,
6.
how long away are we from seeing some clubs pass, some of the clubs that have had quite a few picks in this draft?
Well, you
So
wouldn't
Essendon
imagine it's too far away.
are up
I
next.
think there'll be some clubs that will
Then
walk away
Collingwood, then
very, very
Freo.
happy. And look, the benefit for the industry
Then
and the
Carlton.
game is what's going to be left.
I
on the
think
table,
Carlton
not for the
probably
young
pass
men,
as
and
well, but then
obviously we've
again,
still got,
they haven't had a
training
heap of
periods
picks
and,
yet.
the
Rookie draft.
SSP and
Norther,
the
you
rookie
could get
draft
picked.
coming up, but,
You've been playing some good footy, I've been
the
seeing.
benefit for the game is that some of these guys are going to find their way back into state league competitions and really provide some excitement for the clubs back there and give themselves another opportunity to improve and take their game to
I
the
don't think
next level.
Hawthorn have any more picks either. They've literally got rid of them all.
So the Essendon Football Club with pick number 61.
With pick 61, Essendon have selected Reece Unwin from the Greater Western Victoria Rebels.
Another
and the
Greater
Cobden
Western
Football
Victoria
Club.
Rebels player.
They've gone for the elite speed with Reece Unwin, a boy that had an
Is this the
interrupted
guy
start
you were
to the knee
talking about,
injury, but
Sammy?
As soon as he stepped out playing for the Rebels, then Vic Country,
I swear you
it
were
was that
saying something about an
breakaway
Unwin,
speed
but it
you
might be
couldn't
someone
miss.
else.
It was exciting. It was absolutely dazzling.
But he's been
he confirmed that
touted
in
as a
the test. He'll have
speedster, and he's also a
2.88.
forward. So you've got another
That's
one of
top
those
2 or
players.
3%. So it's lightning quick. He's a goal kicker as well. Takes those long runs from the
You'd
wing
hope he'd be a
or
goal
from
kicker as a
half-back and
forward.
can ping one from long range, and still developing. That's why a boy like that's around, because had that injury interrupted year. So the glimpse of
You've heard of him?
pretty special, and it's that left foot kick.
Yeah, cool.
the ability
All
to
right,
make the
Collingwood are
scoreboard
up. No, they
as well as
aren't.
the dazzling speed
Trade,
that
I think. The
separates him
Bulldogs
from
are now
others
the
at
next
this
pick.
point.
Yeah, I think we talk a lot about the 20-metre speed, but for me,
I reckon we've
when I
seen
went back
7,
and
8
looked at this guy's
trades
vision
already
and
today.
particularly his testing data, it was his 0 to 5 metres that really impressed me. 1 second flat, which was a standout, across all guys that tested at national and state level, and he just puts a gap on him in a blink of an eye. So we saw him pick up Isaac Kako, who was the academy product, and we've spoken.
Is Isaac
about their
Kako
need
also
for
a
small
speedster?
forward, and
I think he would be,
who
right?
knows, they might end up with 2 of them around the footy club for a really long time, which would be fantastic for Bombers fans.
Next up, it is the Western Bulldogs, pick number 62.
We still haven't seen
Shifted
anyone
expectations the industry has on these
pass.
youngsters. I mean, we've seen in the
Still have
last
someone
couple of
who's
years,
ranked
the likes of
30th who hasn't
Nick
been picked up
Dacos and
from
Will
the
Ashcroft
Fox Footy
absolutely
rankings, as you can see there.
and take the competition by storm. I mean, they're hardly like rising stars. They are just stars right from the get-go. Do we need to remember to be patient with some of these players? They're not all going to be like Nick Dacos and Will Ashcroft.
That's right. I think the handful will come in and dominate straight away like a Harley Reid, and that's exciting to see. But
Do I think Hawthorn are premiership favourites? They wouldn't be the premiership favourites,
With pick 62,
but they'll be up there in the
the Western
conversation.
Bulldogs have selected Luke Kennedy from the Sandringham Dragons and the Ormond Junior Football Club.
Are you keeping track of the Sandringham Dragons count? What are we at now?
Everyone seems to just draft players that play for the Dragons. They always get heaps of bloody players.
14, I believe. The Sandringham Dragons.
Wow.
Staggering.
Away we go. And Ormond Footy Club got a mention there. Well, this boy won the senior.
Just play
best
for the
of
Dragons
15
and you get picked.
last year, not
That's
this
pretty
season,
much how it
last
is.
season. That's at the age of 17, and then become a vital player in their premiership side.
And
this boy.
Sandringham
And again,
Dragons is
look at
quite
him,
local to where I live
the
as
way
well.
he used
It's
the
probably the
ball.
most local
Again,
club
his kicking's quite
in the NAB league as well.
First saw him, I thought he's a left footer, this kid, and I marked it down. And of course, the next game I've seen him play, well, he's kicked 12 times.
I've got
on
another
the left
midfielder.
foot, about 12 on the right. Prolific ball winner that's just as good on both sides of the body, and he's a leader
All
of
right.
that footy club too.
Brio
He ended up,
have the next pick.
A place getter in their best and fairest award. Again, was in the Vic Metro squad, and because of numbers and the quality of that, he couldn't quite.
Isn't
get into
Sandy in the
team
Saints
itself. He
VFL
was in the
team?
training squad,
That's the
had a
Zebras.
wonderful year, a premiership player by the end of the year, and justly rewarded with a spot.
It's weird. We're like the
on
only
list.
team
I'd
that
love
haven't
the way he
got
tested
our
as
own
well at the end of
VFL
the
team.
year.
We're affiliated with the
Luke Kennedy,
Sandringham.
you're an AFL player.
Yeah, fantastic
Pretty
story,
much.
Shifter, that he wasn't part of that elite Vic Metro group, but more of a train-on within the group, and still makes his way onto an AFL list.
I wonder if anyone that I know knows this
From
Luke
when I
Kennedy
watched him
guy.
play, he's got an instinctive balance of what I call A1, A2. So when he makes a decision to go and win the ball versus when he makes a decision to be in a position to receive after
I'm not
somebody
going to join the
does go in
Dragons.
and
I've
win
got
it
no
firsthand. And he just sums
chance
that
now. It's too late.
position within
Way
the
too
stoppage
late.
up really, really quickly. You loved his kicking. I love his hands. I think he's instinctive by hand and very, very sharp in the way he distributes.
It's incredibly late.
Well done to Luke Kennedy.
So to pick back up on the point you were making before, Shifter, about the
They've
amount of
picked
players and the
player
top-end
here,
talent,
Freo.
there are a few that can make an immediate impact, but for a lot, they do need that time to develop. Ah, they've got you again. The chimes are interrupting.
Pick 63, Fremantle have selected Jaron Carr from South Fremantle.
Oh, they've
and
gotten a local
Fremantle
boy.
City Dockers
There you go.
Junior Football Club.
He'd be happy with that.
And another father-son. This is the son of Matthew
Oh,
Carr,
he's
the
a
Saints
father son
supporter,
of
remember.
Matthew
He
Carr.
played over here,
Yeah,
but
Carr
then became a
does
star
ring a
at
bell.
Freo, as a running player, could play back, could play run with
So that's the
roles,
third. Is
particularly
that the
to
third
midfield.
father son, or is that the
162
fourth? Because
games,
Adelaide
boy
got
qualified. And young Jared
Welsh.
developed this huge 20 years of age. So as again, a great example of that. Everyone comes on at a different rate, and half the year at reserves level. Then he pushed into senior footy and played some great games at South Freo. So he's a running machine as well, and
He's a
still
forward.
working on his game, but enough to really catch the eye of quite a number of clubs, and so he becomes.
Shannon knows how to spell his second name. I got a message from Tom Stewart. I'm happy we've got Dodson. So am I. The fact that someone following Mark.
From the Brisbane Lions, and
I may have read it wrong though. I actually think it might just be Mark's following him. But why would Mark be following him? That's my weird assumption.
Dockers who have been able to snap up a father-son product, but
And once again, I think Hawthorn have now been back on the trade table, even though they weren't there beforehand. So I think Carlton have done another trade, and the Hawks are up next. It's chaos here.
Glenn Jakovic, Peter Sumich, so.
Wonder how many picks we'll get to. I doubt we have too many more, but we're almost at the 10 o'clock rate.
Over the course of 2024 at league level.
Oh, did they pass?
We've just seen the Carlton Football Club pass.
Okay.
So that is our first pass.
That's the first team to do so. I didn't even see that. Didn't even put up on screen.
As clubs are happy with what they've been able to do in this 2024 draft, and I suppose the trade period as well. It's the complete picture. It is
That Kale guy we drafted messaged me an hour ago saying I've seen your videos before.
Ready to go, and they've done a marvelous
Fuck
job.
off he did, mate.
So incredibly pleased with particularly the player they were able to land at number 3, Jagger Smith.
Yeah, we saw how highly.
No chance he did that.
Nick Austin, how highly they rated Jagger Smith and
Kale Gerrian.
They added with the tall defender, as we saw a little bit earlier tonight. And
as if an AFL draftee watches the Sammy Gebbett YouTube channel. The Sammy GFC YouTube channel.
But yeah, look, they're ready to go, the Blues.
With pick 64,
I don't know who he is. I
selected
find it
Cody
hard to
Anderson
believe that
from
he's
the
watched your
Hawthorn
videos.
Next Generation Academy, the Eastern Rangers, and the Hillsville.
Why have you even mentioned the fact that you make videos? All right, who we got? Who they got? Cody Anderson.
Through injury, but has shown just how tough he is in the lead-up.
Oh, he's a competitor.
Brisbane will pass, surely.
I've watched him play the last couple of years out there at Eastern. A strongly built midfielder, loves the contest. He thrives in it. Worked very, very hard to get into the national championships, and that disappointed. Did an ankle in the first quarter of his first game. It put him out for 6 weeks, but he got back late in the year. And
Oh,
had
go
some
piss off,
dominant games
Lucas.
at Eastern. An Indigenous boy that gets his chance under the NGA rules at Hawthorn to join that club.
You don't even make any sense.
Showed he's got a good turn of foot too at the combine at
Just fucking
state
speaking.
level, so he can get over the ground. But it's his personality that people like. You see that even from over the fence, the way in which he leads his side.
Yeah, David Wirrapunda, another absolutely outstanding product that came out of the Hillsville region. So well done to Cody Anderson. And again, the Hawks go back and invest in their region, don't they? I mean, we've seen the amount of players that have had experience at Box Hill and the Eastern Rangers in particular. And Shifter, I likened him a little bit to
Yeah,
James
I might
Walker,
almost just get the mods to
when I
get rid of
watched him
these
play.
yapping
He's
comments
just
because
a
it's
very,
like
very
I should
strongly built,
just ignore them, and I have. But
inside mid.
The Brisbane Lions are officially done for the
don't
night. They
understand it.
have passed all selections, and of course the highlight of their draft was getting Levi.
all right, looks
Ashcroft,
like Brisbane
the
have passed as
brother
well.
of
So
Will
Brisbane have
North
passed,
Smith
Carlton have
medalist and
passed.
the son of
We're
Marcus,
getting
the
close to the
three-time
finish
Brisbane
here.
Lions
West Coast are
premiership
next.
player. So they can pack their bags and head home back to Premiership land. Very happy with what they've been able to acquire.
We might have a third go at your question from earlier about the system and the players coming in. About 100.
All right, West Coast
each
are up
will get
next.
in. I think about 20 will show you something almost immediately and be like the Ashcrofts and the Reeds, the Dacoses, and they'll have an impact. And
I
all
won't
of
filter the
fans
word
will know
yep.
who they
It's
are.
just
there'd be another 30
time
or
out the
40
people that
that'll
say it.
play some games, a handful even in their first year. But for many, it's still developing. They've got a couple more years before their body will be ready. Sam DeConning, I think, of the
Sammy, when's the
boy
next
down at
vid?
Geelong, that he'll take 3 years to develop the body. And
He
kept
said he
growing.
quit,
Ended
but
up to
apparently he's now
3 or 4
taking a break.
centimetres, and that took time. So clubs will invest in the young player at 18, knowing that they'll come on at different rates. Some will be stars straight away. We have about a 15% turnover. The champions that end up at the end of their careers are replaced by these boys coming in, and that's been regular for the last 15 or 20 years in the professional era, that opportunities will bob up.
Once again, mate, Dimitri, that's why you're never going to mod. You're calling people that on a public live stream. Why would I mod someone that says that?
Then there's the train on opportunities you've mentioned already, where 7 or 8 other players will get a chance over the summer period to train with clubs and then be picked up before the season even commences.
A long time here to wait, so I feel like they may have a player in mind, the Eagles.
For boys that may well be in that 1,000 odd that
Unbanned
trying
Lucas.
to get there. It hasn't happened now. Don't lose sight of the dream. Keep working at it. It can still happen for you.
Absolutely, such a good sentiment as we get towards the closing stages of this draft. The club's just
Do you want to go another?
Continue and pick up.
Have West Coast picked up?
To flesh out their list, or whether to pass, and we can see the remaining players.
They've done well, I think, West Coast. But I reckon they go another player because it's West Coast and they need
quite
probably
a
as many
steal if we're looking at pick 65.
players as they can get.
Yeah, there is, Sarah, but it's an interesting philosophy at this stage, isn't it? Some clubs will leave a spot open on their list or two and go into that train-on period over the summer. They'll be tracking players that are training with other clubs.
What's the list size now?
Want to see a little bit more.
Is it like
of.
42?
From the West
plus
Coast Eagles' perspective, there's a
couple
young
of
man
rookies?
by the name of Malachi Champion that came through their NGA program shift.
Oh, you've got 4 more list spots open. You'll have to get someone.
Out of the
No way you
region
pass
and
here,
highly
surely.
rated by the likes of John Mansbridge and Christian Dick.
Brisbane's only picks have been father and son, and they're probably all going to turn out to be quite solid, especially Ashcroft.
Should he get through
Marshall, Ashcroft.
and be able to just walk on to the West Coast Eagles list.
When the Saints go marching in.
Footy club, because he is high-end talent. I know he did a lot of work. He even pushed up into the midfield with Nigel Hamilton, who's the midfield coach at Subiaco, and did some really special things through there. So if they can get out of this one and bring Malachi into the club cheaply, they've done very well.
The nephew of our own Eddie Betts as well. So wonderful footy family.
Will they make the decision soon here, West Coast?
Chatted to Malachi about Eddie, so yeah, a connection, an uncle of course.
I think someone just subscribed there. Thank you, whoever that was. I didn't read it because I didn't have the tab on.
Throughout the course of the year, he's shown me enough to. He kicked 3 against Vic Metro. His speed was electric, and for a smaller player, he's got a thump and kick on him. He got that radar round the goals.
Who we got for West Coast?
With pick 65, West Coast have selected Hamish Davis from Claremont and the Subiaco.
Jesus
Junior
Christ.
Football
The
Club.
reactions when you get picked, when you're not expecting to get picked, I reckon are the
Scenes
best.
there for Hamish Davis. What a moment there.
Bargain buy. Actually, no, he's the guy that was ranked 30, but finally gets picked up. Good on him.
That has put his name up in lights.
Oh, look, he played pretty well for WA in the under-18 championships during the year. Colts level was best on the ground in the grand final.
And we're getting
30
some
disposals.
highlights.
He's kicked 4 in a senior final too, playing for Claremont. I'm amazed the boys back then. It's just repeating the same I know as how people rate players differently. You look at his highlights.
Hamish is good. I've seen him play. Nice.
A medium-sized forward that can push through the midfield. There's a game
And you could probably use a general forward as well. Although, to be fair, you've got a couple, but it doesn't hurt to have as many talented forwards as that as you can get. They're all good.
Just amazing it takes so long for him to get his opportunity. But look, after tonight, he'll be a listed player. Doesn't matter what number you go in the finish.
Well, we had him ranked
Geelong
at 30,
up next.
picked up at 65. We head to Hamish right now. Hamish, how agonising
Look at it.
was that?
Look how he's feeling.
Yeah, it was almost torture in a way. It was probably the most stressful I've ever been. So, yeah, I don't really care now. I'm just so glad.
Yeah, he doesn't have to travel. It doesn't matter if you get pick 65 ultimately. Like, you could prove everyone wrong by being one of the best
Just any AFL list.
players
West
that
Coast
picked to
Eagles,
that
so you
position.
get to remain home in WA. That must be incredibly thrilling.
Yeah, I got such a supportive group of mates and family behind me that I love very much. So to have their support in my own state.
AFL talks, it's still quite hacky though.
Yeah, Hamish, Mick Ablett here, mate. Congratulations. I was fortunate enough to get a really close look at you against Subi during the year where you did a number on us and kicked a few, mate, which was super impressive. I've been a fan ever since, but you've got a knack of just hitting the scoreboard, mate, and kicking.
Is this the last
goals.
pick?
What do you say is your greatest asset, and do you think
No, it continues until all teams, I guess, don't want any more players and they pass.
Yeah, I guess that's
Geelong are the
always
next
something I've,
team
tried
to go.
hit the scoreboard as much as I can. I guess playing half forward.
I reckon
this
we're
year,
probably going to go to like
my
pick
role
72
for
or
all
3,
teams
I
was to
reckon.
get
It's
up
my
high
guess,
ground,
but
then
I'm
really
not
push
too
back
sure.
into the forward 50 and try and hit the scoreboard. So yeah, definitely try to do that as much as I can. moving forward, I'd definitely like to explore the midfield.
Looks like the
I think,
Cats are up next.
played
We'll
a
see
bit
if they
more,
go for
through there this year, and
anyone or if they are going
players.
to
That'd
elect to
be,
pass.
definitely something I'm open to. And
I'm not really
just
sure how many list spots the Cats have open at the moment.
Hamish, congratulations. Fantastic to see you hang in there and get selected. Who have been your influences this year? Mark Webb did a terrific job with your state team. But who
they
are the
delist
ones,
Parfit, the Cats?
fine-tuning your game?
I know they delisted a few, and I think Parfit might have been one of them.
Coaches this year, Ricky Smith, Webby, as you mentioned.
Only
Nash Prescott.
Carlton and
so good
Brisbane.
for me, and the teams I've been
They're the only
playing
two teams that have
in.
passed. I
I'd
would
like to be
imagine
away
the
out of those
Saints
three, but
also pass when we go
those
for our
three
next
have
selection, because we
massive
don't really need
influences for me,
anyone
and
else.
I'm very grateful for what they've
6 draftees is a lot.
Congratulations, this is such a special night. Who have you got in the room with you, family and friends?
I think Geelong
who's
have
gathered
5
to
open.
support you?
Then the Cats probably will pick someone here. They might go another couple because they seem to always nail the draft.
It was
Find the
worth
right
wait.
players.
Well done and enjoy this.
Wasn't Lawson Humphreys like?
Cheers, guys.
Where was he
Brilliant. That
drafted
must be
at?
such a wonderful feeling to be finally knowing where you're going. It's
He was
wonderful.
pick 63 and he's become a really good player for them this year as a first gamer. Well, the Cats have picked someone.
Very talented young man, Hamish
Rowan was
Davis,
also
and
delisted, so they have a lot of,
we'll
and
see a
they've,
bit of him in
Hawkins retired.
2025.
All right, we have another big
And now-
pending here. The Geelong Football Club at pick 66. This is
The
St Kilda
Saints.
Next Generation.
Oh, this is our
Academy
next gen
member, and would you
academy
believe it
player.
is another Sandringham Dragon, Lennox Hoffman.
Are we going to
defender
say yes
shifter.
to another
Been a
defender?
very good one at that. Love some of his games this year with his intercept marking, even his contested marking. Played for Vic Metro.
The Dragons have like
Deep in
9
the fence
players.
there, and sometimes it wasn't down there a lot, but gee, he was an important member of their grand final winning side at Sandringham.
Saints are bidding.
And he's got some dash. He uses the ball well. I
Going
thought
off
that,
the
big
trend
crew
of what
come
we've seen
early.
with other
The
clubs,
bid
we're
on
not going to
support
say
has
yes to
shown me
this, and the
enough
Cats will have him.
From just my observation, that he's got some real AFL potential.
So we have a look here to see whether St Kilda will match the bid or pass, in which case Lennox would be headed to the Geelong Football Club. And gosh, it must be such a nervous time because he just wouldn't know in which direction he's about to head. So we'll find out now for
I
Lennox.
feel like we're going to take him.
With pick 66, Geelong have selected
No, we don't.
Lennox Hoffman.
That might be
from
it for the
St
Saints then,
Kilda
I reckon.
Next Generation Academy, the Sandringham Dragons, and the Old Brighton Grammarians.
There's the system at work, people that...
Again, that's
form
the
one
fourth
view on
one.
a player and another club has a different view. I'd trust the view of Stephen Wells and his crew. They've been brilliant at picking players late in the draft. And
I hope he doesn't turn out to
the
be a
naked
star,
eye,
though, to
some
be
of the work
honest.
That Hoffman did late, and he was very good. Then he tested us super quick, and that adds to the arsenal of what he brings to the table. And his parents born in Switzerland. That
You don't
makes him
lose the
eligible
bid. We
under
just
the
didn't want him,
NGA rules
I don't think.
to be able to train a little bit at St Kilda.
Once
He
again,
was
like
taking
people saying that I
opportunity
don't know
in recent
much.
years.
I guess I don't know
But
everything
at
about when it
Sandringham
comes
really has
to
probably put most of the work in,
matching
and at
bids
school
with the
level
Next
as well,
Generation Academy
to
and all
develop
that.
his
But
game, and that intercept marking was fairly special, I thought, through the finals this year for Sandy.
Yeah, I've got written down here, Shifter, wow. That's when I saw him play. He's electrifying turn
all
of
right,
speed.
North are up next.
You want this young fella
You know his brother?
getting the footy forward of centre, because if he does, he's off to the races, and good luck catching him.
Well,
when he
another
heads,
Sandringham Dragons
towards
player.
goal. So
You'd know a
it was
few
the
of
only
those
player
Sandy
to
Dragons players because they're
break
local.
1 second. I just touched on it just before, but he was the only player that tested that broke 1 second over 5 metres at any level of combine. So he's a special one, and the Cats, I mean,
Five-time
look,
All-Australian
he'll learn off the
defender.
likes of
He'll be the
Tyson
next Tom
Stengel,
Stewart.
which is a pretty handy mentor to have.
The Hawthorn Football Club have passed.
When
and
am I
are
stopping
out of the
streaming? You
draft.
just
So
want my
they've had
viewers,
a very
mate.
quiet draft in 2024. They
Hawks are
didn't play any
past. I mean, they don't really have many list
last
spots
night.
open because who
Obviously
do they delist? No one.
involved tonight, but
Who retired
they
for
did
Hawthorn?
a lot
No
of
one.
their list formulation during the
No
trade
one that I can
period
think
this
of at
year.
least.
No doubt with Josh Battle and Barras, of course. And that's the beauty of it. You've got to participate in every.
Oh,
every
they would have
piece of the
delisted a few
draft,
actually,
whether
but I
it
can't
be
remember off
the
the top of my
selection
head.
meetings, the draft, the
The North have pick
rookie
67.
draft, mid-season or the supplemental period, or
Stop
the
yapping,
trades, and
G's.
future
Oh,
picks, every
shit.
angle. I think
Got
the
to
great clubs are now doing that, using
rid of
every
this guy.
single angle to their advantage, and the national draft is an important part of it. Get the best talent in.
So we're looking at North Melbourne here at pick 67. We can see Alistair Clarkson, the master coach, and he's just been handed a phone, so I'm not sure who he's going to chat to there. Perhaps the person that they're about to select in the draft, and a big smile on his face.
What are they getting?
With pick 67, North Melbourne have selected River Stevens from the Geelong Falcons and the Newtown and Chilwell Sporting Club.
This is a wow moment. This is fantastic. The
They
son
should
of
just-
Anthony
they
Stevens,
should,
of course,
have the audio
young
display
River.
as well so we can hear the
Anthony
reaction.
wasn't just a gun. He was a champion player. One of the most
So,
courageous
drafted
players to
another
play the
forward.
game. He got every ounce out of himself. 292 games for the Kangaroos and AFL's Hall of Fame. We mentioned that before.
I think he is happy about
Hall of
Hamish
Famers
Davies.
That come through
West
the
Coast
game.
have been one of the
I
bigger
like
winners
what I've seen
from
for Vic
what I've
Country in
been
a couple
hearing,
of games this
what I've
year.
seen.
He got a thumping kick on him, a lefty. He kicked one from 50. He's a smart, small forward. He's got a lighter
West Coast
body
had the
at
next
minute.
selection.
That will
I
grow
think
and
they're probably
develop
going to
as
go
he
another
gets
player
older.
from what I've been hearing.
Best on the ground in the local derby at school level. The two famous footy schools, the Geelong College, Geelong Grammar, have their annual challenge game, and he was best on the ground. There's some very good listed
I reckon
players
Shappy
coming
would
out of
probably
those
know
two
him,
schools. So
to be honest, if
what
they
a
go to the
moment for
same school.
Stevens. Father-son.
A wonderful story.
Boston
we're going
2-0,
to
thank you for the
chat to
$3. I'm the
River
GOAT.
Stevens now, who
In terms
joins
of
the
what?
North
Because I
Melbourne
don't think I'm the
Football Club,
greatest of all
his
time, but
dad
cheers.
Captained. Congratulations, River. Talk to us about how you're feeling right now.
Boston 2.0 has just tipped $2 Australian dollars and 99 cents through Super Chat.
Can our list
You are the
management pick
GOAT, mate.
Malarkey here?
Do you have a sense of how big a moment this is? The father-son, everything your dad did for the football club, how loved he is by the North Melbourne faithful. Do you have a sense of how much this will mean to North Melbourne fans?
Yeah, I reckon it mean a lot, Dad's. Yeah.
What, Malarkey
did a lot
champion?
For the footy club's been on the board. Yeah, so
Because
very
he's probably a little bit of a slider now.
Can you talk to us about how you're feeling right now?
In
I mean,
terms of
gosh,
everything. Well,
achieved
thank
so
you.
much in
Appreciate
your
it.
football career, but I imagine there's no prouder moment than this one.
No, it's been a dream of Rivers for a long time since being a kid, and
Is that not a
been a
bargain
massive
buyer?
supporter, so it's exciting when you see the last couple of
Well,
drafts.
I don't know if he's
father
actually
sons
ranked in the
and,
top 100, but I
Jackson
might be
Archer
wrong. I
and
really could be
Cooper
wrong.
Harvey,
Probably
two of my
Chuck
mates that are playing in the
blew a broad
premiership
stream to
with,
know if that's
and
actually
now,
true or not.
River being there, so
Because they've got all the
hopefully
rankings.
the fairy tale story in the future in regards to where the footy club's going at the moment, and there's some exciting times coming along, and hopefully I reckon 2026 we'll start to see the boys up pushing in the 8, if not in the top 4. So they're really exciting times.
Yeah, River, it's Mick Ablett. Congratulations, mate. Unbelievable achievement. And
I don't believe
you know, we
he
just
is a
touched
bargain
on
buyer.
The career that your dad had. He's one of the most outstanding humans that in football and that I've had the pleasure of meeting. And
Melbourne
you
are
know,
up
you've
now.
now
I
got
swear
the
Melbourne
likes of
have had
Jackson
no
Archer
involvement
and obviously Cooper Harvey.
apart
and,
from the first 10
you know,
picks.
Their fathers, Glenn and Brent. Is the club really starting to generate that Shimbona spirit again? And how much emphasis has been put on that in the time you've spent as a young man around the football club?
Yeah, since
They might be the only
football
team
club, all the father-son
today
academies
not to have
always
picked
talked
anyone.
About Shimbona spirit and how important it is, and yeah, Dad's brought that to the club, I think, and no, hopefully I can as well. So yeah.
River, have you met Clark?
Oh, thanks,
have you
mate.
had anything
Thanks,
to do
Boston.
with him yet? And are you looking forward to working with the legendary coach?
Yeah, I'm excited. He's a good coach. I think I've met him once when I was little. That's about it. But no, I'm excited to meet him when I get.
Well, you're not going to say he's a
soon.
shit coach, are you?
Good answer, because he was listening just then. Well done.
And River, your role model, who's the player in the AFL you follow the most and like in your game too?
Oh, I used to love Zach Fisher. I used to just love the way he went about. He was fast, good kick, goals. Yeah, used to love him.
Well, River, this is
He
a
looks
magical
really-
night
obviously
for
he's
you,
young,
your
but he
dad,
did
and the
just
entire
looks
family.
really young.
Congratulations. I think there'll be plenty of North Melbourne fans who are just delighted by this news tonight. Well done.
Yeah, thank you.
Well done, Dad. Well done to Anthony Stevens there. He's
Yeah, no.
incredibly pleased. Another great story. I mean, we've said it countless
He
times.
knows
tonight,
Chappie.
The father-son stories are the most heartwarming that we have on draft night, and those family links are something that I think our game does better than any other game in the world.
Yeah, it certainly does, Sarah. I mean, look at the joy. I've seen just as much joy on the fathers' faces as what I have on the young men that have been drafted, and that's
God, I'm
something
starting to get a bit
incredibly
tired.
special and unique to our
Shouldn't be
game.
tired.
geez, I just hope it never
All right,
changes.
Melbourne have gotten someone.
With pick 68, Melbourne have selected Aidan Johnson from the Werribee VFL and the Lavington Panthers Football and Netball Club.
The Lavington Panthers.
Well done, Melbourne Footy Club to Jason Taylor.
What's with
and
the
Tim
old dude
Lamb.
and the
They've
saying
picked
word
Aidan,
boy?
A VFL premiership player. He's a tough, athletic, key forward.
I don't know, mate.
Ruckman type of player. So he's going to give some real genuine depth and
No idea what you
presence
mean by
to,
that, actually.
to what that Melbourne forward line and midfield
The word
can hold. I mean,
boy.
you got Max Gorm. We've seen Ben Brown go out. So they've gone with a mature age player. So
still only the
clearly
three
Melbourne
teams
Footy
have
Club
passed
expect
up
to
until this
bounce
point.
Quickly, they're bringing in some guys that can impact straight away. And look, I've got a lot of time and a lot of respect
Maybe because this is a
for
bit
Tim
more of
Lamb
a-
and Jason Taylor in the room there. And
Well,
I can see this footy
considering
club
what everyone's been
returning
saying,
to finals very quickly.
much higher end in terms of the
So
talent
we've just
draft
had
class.
a few
Maybe people,
passes,
maybe teams are
while
wanting to.
You've been chatting there, Mick. Adelaide and St Kilda have passed and are out
Well,
of the
we've
draft.
passed. So Adelaide
to
and St Kilda
recap
are
the
gone.
clubs that have passed their picks and
Maybe
have
I'm not right then with
finished
that,
for
but I feel like
tonight. That
teams
is
might actually
Carlton,
want to pick up
Brisbane,
a few
Hawthorn,
more picks than
Adelaide
normal.
and St Kilda.
Aidan Johnson.
And I believe Fremantle as well. So we're going to see
A lot
some
of
the clubs
passing.
move
Freo
quite
passed.
quickly through here. They've finalised.
You'd be very
their
nervous you're
list for
watching
this
this
evening
as a
and
player,
they've finished
honestly.
Their drafting, but you know, don't lose hope. Those guys still at home. If not tonight, there are still other opportunities. We know it's such an agonising.
Gus Footy, thanks for the rookie.
We really do feel for you watching
He is
at home,
obsessed with
hoping
saying
that your
boy.
dreams will come true
Oh,
with,
well, I haven't
Collingwood
noticed
have
it. Now,
just,
I'm going to start noticing it. Cheers.
put their pick up at pick 69, and we suspect they might be passing as well.
Yeah, but it's amazing, isn't it? We
Bulldogs
sat here
are up
last
next.
year
Who
and a young
will get the
fella
next
named
pick?
Lawson Humphries
Who's
got
getting
his
the illustrious
opportunity
pick 69?
Really late
And
shifted,
hasn't he
didn't
made
you?
the most of it?
Wow, I mean, I sat here stunned. I'd seen him play as a junior, and you know, he just
The illustrious
it was
pick
a really
69.
interesting selection, but that's exactly why I'm sitting here, and Stephen Wells and Andrew Mackey are sitting there because. He
Has
went on to
Malarkey
do some
champion
pretty
been
amazing
picked
things
yet?
during this season that's just passed?
Well, he's a
They
great
haven't.
example
Oh,
of
he-
how
sorry, he
changes
hasn't.
lives. He's a by
Um,
the end of the year, was not only a Rising Star nomination in the
But I
AFL
think
comp,
West Coast should
he's a
take him.
finals player, and he hardly missed a beat for the year. He's kicking.
I really
was
do think
elite,
West Coast should
right
take him.
And left and coming off half-back and just thrived in that environment, professional
No one wants to
level.
take the Huntsman. Well, now it's the Cats.
Actually spoke to him at the
So
end of the
the
year.
Dogs are passed.
Down there at Geelong, we'll take a couple of Irish.
Maybe the
recruits
Cats
through
will take the
club, and
Huntsman.
He happened to be there and just beaming.
Surely
He'd achieved
there'll be one
that
team to go
12-month
for the
period.
69.
Come from nowhere, to be
Well,
quite
West
honest,
Coast, for example.
and was a very, very late pick.
Great stories, aren't they? Those ones that no one suspects and then they end up proving so many
All right, we
people
could be
wrong.
done
The
here
Western
soon, I
Bulldogs
reckon.
have also
Very
passed.
quickly.
So that's Carlton, Brisbane, Hawthorn, Adelaide, St Kilda, Fremantle, Collingwood and the Western Bulldogs, who have all passed in this draft. So we just wait to see what the remaining clubs do with their picks left. We've got pick 69 and the Geelong Football Club on the clock. And, well, the Cats do have a history of finding some beauties late in the draft, so we'll wait to see what
Could this be another
the team
Lawson
does
Humphries
here.
for
Yeah,
Geelong?
being prepared for anything
Stewart.
here. It's they're a special club with a unique eye for talent, but I will say, Sarah, I did ask Shifter.
I need a dollar, that's what I need.
We'll get to Shifter. He said
Do I have about
Boston
A-League teams?
2.0 has just tipped $2 Australian
got
and
Melbourne
99
City.
cents through Super
I'm
Chat.
not supporting Victory
Do
after
you
what
have a
they did
favourite league team, mate?
on that
Well, let's hope that
Christmas
3 or 4
Derby a
more
couple of
boys
years
get
ago.
a chance at this point. Hey?
That would be
But to be
excellent.
fair, before I was
Shifter,
never a
the
big
38
fan of
years, how
Victory
much
before
has
then anyway.
the professionalism of draft night changed
But
since that
I
very
only
first
really
one that
watch
you
a
did?
handful
We
of
had a
games a
whiteboard
year. I'm not a
back
big
then.
A-League fan. Thank you, mate,
And
again.
we had party pies, so it was a special time for the 20 people.
And how
in
did the
room.
players find out that they were drafted?
Well, we did fax it out late in the day.
I think Cats are going to take someone here. They're taking their sweet
Mark
time with this
Leslie
one.
went at number 1, of course, back in '86.
Hi from Geelong, this is Jordan Plummer. What's going on, mate?
There's the new side in the comp.
30
West Coast Eagles,
30
the
odd
new
subs
side
till we
too
get
from that
to
part of Australia. And at choice 50,
41.9. But even if we don't get there, it's still been
He
pretty
went
good.
to Fitzroy.
Cheerio to Alistair Lynch, one of Fox Footy's
Alex, the
finest,
worst
and what a
Aussie sporting
career
league.
he had. So the evolution, we're
I
finding
probably,
out
probably
via
still
facts, then what
think
was
it's better than the
next step?
NRL,
Are
to
we
be honest. I know
finding
you're not
out
going to be a
via
fan
the
of that.
internet, online, because
I'd
live
probably watch an A-League game over an NRL
still
game.
not in at this point.
No, it was.
But I think it's
That's
still better than
32
like
years, in fact,
the baseball,
that the live broadcasting
which is
started.
an
I think
Australian
it might have
baseball
been,
league.
Darren Gasper might have been the first player called out, a West Australian that was drafted. He
Just
might have gone to
subbed.
Sydney first before Richmond.
Legend. Thank you, Lachlan.
Way back then, and yeah, it's been part of the football, I suppose, development in the professional era. Our game went fully professional, like most sports in the mid-90s, and to the extent now that...
Look, if someone's going to ask for a raid, I'm not going to raid them. Why would I raid someone who's not even freaking reacting to the stream? Like, you just want the viewers.
More than ever,
I can tell.
mystery surrounding the top picks, but television ratings, the online traffic, the amount of social media, it is getting bigger and bigger every year. The awareness around these players is getting more intense, and they're dealing with a lot more pressure. So hats off to these young men who are incredibly
People saw it on
mature
Jesse's stream last time and won it.
the AFL system, and well, they're just
Oh,
really
like a
kids,
raid.
so it's
I only
quite
pick.
striking.
I only raid people just if I feel like it. Like if I'm finishing a stream and someone else is still going, then I do it. But if you're going to ask for one when you don't deserve
it's
one,
remarkable where we've come, and a huge effort, Shifter, for what you've done across a very, very long period.
I knew you wanted to only do that for viewers.
Maybe
Cheap
when
way
you
of doing it, mate.
Alistair Lynch and those types.
NBL is also pretty boring. Nah, it's good if you go. I'm not even
Geelong
joking.
have selected Kyton Matafai Forbes from the Western Jets.
Can't
from
even
Keilor
begin to
Football
want to
Club.
pronounce this guy's name.
And sometimes you only need one game to really show off.
I'm not getting this guy
look,
even
this is just
remotely
me.
close to the
Western Jets
graphic.
had shown lots of real potential.
But good on the
their coach talent league, enough to get
bloke,
into the Vic
Kyton
Metro side
Matafai
and play
Forbes.
maybe 2.5 quarters before injury cost him. But that 2.5 quarters was good
Matafai
enough
Forbes.
for me.
That's one of the
He had some
longest names I've
power.
ever seen.
He played as a medium forward there at Marvel Stadium, and the way he presented, his body type, his strong fit, thumping long kick and one contested ball, strong overhead as well. So as we mentioned, sometimes it's a glimpse or a thin slice. That was enough for me to suggest I better know a little bit about this boy. He's got some AFL potential.
How about this
He's out
AFL
with the
talk?
group
If you
that we
can
tested, and
chuck a
those
face
injuries
cam
we've had
and
at
react to the
various
ending of the
times,
stream of the
probably
draft, then I
clouded
will
the ball
raid
with
you. Why not?
a massive upside.
Yeah, I've got written down.
Even
here,
though I don't
big
raid people that
watch
ask,
with an
but-
exclamation mark, and that's where I back up your sentiment, Shifter. It is just power, power, power with this young man. He's a left footer.
Once
Reminded me
again.
a little bit of Finn O'Callaghan in
Show a
the,
bit of
the way he
highlights, Fox
moves
Footy.
and plays. He's
I'm sure they're
certainly
capable of doing
better
that.
when
They've
he's-
got the
when he's higher up
broadcast
the ground,
vision
I
and
think,
all
as
that.
in that forward type role because of what he can offer through that middle part of the ground with the run, the dash, and what he can deliver on his left foot inside forward 50.
Extraordinary, Shifter. Your depth of knowledge of these players is amazing. When we talk about 1,000 people nominating, and we're yet to stump him, aren't we, Mick? We haven't seen anyone that's got him confused. It is incredible. While we've been chatting, the Sydney Swans and North Melbourne have passed, so they are out of
So
the
now
draft.
even
They keep
North have
Carlton,
passed.
Brisbane, Hawthorn, Adelaide, St Kilda, Freo, Pies, Dogs, Sydney, and North. Now finished
West Coast are
draftings
next.
this evening.
Will they take champion?
Yeah, no, you're right, Sarah. We have not managed to stump him, and I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon either.
He is the guru.
He absolutely is.
And West Coast
He's
are passed, so they're not going to get him.
And that's why he's
You're
so
done, Coast Club.
respected
Richmond are
in
next, and I
footy
feel like
circles
they
around the
don't need
country.
any more
The
plays
West Coast
after all
Eagles
they've gotten
have
so far.
passed, so pick 70 now goes to Richmond. So West Coast have passed that pick, but they are still in the draft. I'm told they could be involved in the next selection. So
What?
Richmond at 70.
Okay, so they're still in the
they
draft.
have
Well, I don't know why
climbed
they
up
passed.
in this
What's the
draft,
point?
And they've done such a remarkable job. The
Do they
ability
want
of them
time
to
or
be able to
something?
bring a talented group together through the ranks. We saw Hawthorn do it. We saw Geelong do it in
He's
recent
not
times,
unbranded.
having that
He's
core
not.
Group of players around the
He
same
never
age.
is.
It's really crucial, and hopefully for the Tigers that can build their next premiership.
Yeah, no doubt. We've seen it happen. We mentioned it with the GWS Giants when they were brought into the competition. We've seen it with the Brisbane Lions that have taken a core group through, and both have had an incredible amount of success, and Brisbane Lions the ultimate. So I think the blueprint was there for the Richmond Footy Club, and Blair Hartley is one of the best operators in football, and he's maximised this draft. He's set him up well for
Blaze
2025
delete.
also. So look out for the Tigers and the role that they'll play in trade period at the end of next season and going into the next national draft. they're set for an
I
exciting
was saying it
future,
before,
and Tigers
for the
fans,
fun
you
of it,
should walk away
if he
very, very
puts
happy.
his face cam on and does like something else afterwards,
So
and I'll
will
rate
they
him.
use this pick, or will they perhaps
Why would I bother
leave that
rating
spot on the list
fucking
free
AFL
to-
live
to
broadcast?
see and invite some people down to training and assess them further over the
Tigers
summer?
have
I think
pick
that's
number
their very
70 here, and it
conversation
looks
for
like they
Romans
might
do
actually be
here. What do
taking
we do?
someone.
Are we really keen enough to take someone in, or do we leave it open? So you can have 3 or 4 minutes chatting about that. It would have been part of their list analysis weeks ago that we may leave that one open.
Could even
Depends
be,
on who's on the board. Yeah.
Could even be the balance, couldn't it, Shifter, of do we need
They
another
passed.
young player over
Eagles
that
are up.
period? Do we bring in a more mature age player just as a bit of support to
Are there
the
still
young
many
group?
teams left that haven't passed?
So Richmond have
Gold
passed
Coast,
and
Essendon,
they are
Giants,
out. So job well
Melbourne,
done to the
possibly
Richmond
the
Football
D's as
Club.
well.
They have nailed the draft this year and will.
Actually, no, I
all
think the
watch
D's
very
also
closely to
passed.
see the
Pretty
development
much
of these
every
highly
team, I think,
talented
have now passed.
youngsters.
West Coast have their next one here.
West Coast are passing on
They've
just
passed.
this pick, so that moves it on to.
They're still in the
Gold
draft.
Coast
They just,
Suns.
for some reason, want to keep
we're getting
past their
down to a
picks.
limited amount of clubs that are still active in the draft. There
Gold
are quite
Coast
a
are
few
next.
that have pulled up stumps for season 2024.
We touched on Shifter too, Sarah, but well done to yourself. The role that
I wouldn't
you
be surprised
play
if Gold
not
Coast
only over
take
the
someone
course
here.
of the year with Fox Footy in your particular space, but also when it comes draft time, another exceptional job by yourself. And I know you're passionate about these young guys as well, and take a genuine interest.
Why don't they
in their
just fully?
futures
There
too.
must be a reason why
Always
West
great
Coast
when
haven't.
you see the players
They-
when you
they
go
might
to the football at
want some
Marvel or
more
the
time.
MCG or wherever in round 5 or round
But
6,
they're
and some of the
eventually
players that we
just
speak
gonna have to
about
get to the
tonight
stage
and
where
that
they're
we've
gonna
done
have
the
to make a
work on,
call.
and you,
So I think they'll pass
watch them make their debut.
fully.
It's
And
always
well,
a
as
really
in, like,
special
they
moment.
just
The Gold Coast Suns are out
choose to
of
no
the
longer
draft.
take
It
any
now
part of the
switches
draft.
forward to the
Suns are
Bombers
out.
at pick 70.
Bombers
and
are
I
next.
suspect they may well pass on this one as well.
The internship that's up for grabs too, Sarah. You might have to
Yeah.
start going incognito when you go out for a walk, because I reckon there'll be a fair bit of interest in that particular competition.
Would you
and
watch
I'm
if
sure
you
it's
stream the
very-
AFLW prelim between
So
Lies
you can
Crows
join
with
the
a
Fox
face
Footy
cam?
team and be a caller
Nah,
or a
probably
host
not.
or a boundary rider.
I'll probably be busy.
And it's a real job. You'll be on air. So an opportunity for people out there to get their show reels together and put
That would be
together
cool.
something,
Maybe I
write a
would
little
just sign up
something
for that
and
KO
submit it to our team, and
commentary thing that
we'll
they're
have, I think it's December
doing as a
11th
competition.
that the competition closes, and we'll come up with a winner, and you'll see them on the television screens in season 2025 as part of our Super Saturday live coverage, which will be absolutely
Super
huge.
Saturday.
Our,
Nah, but if I did
broadcast
that, then
rights
that would
deal for
completely
next year
ruin
is
what I
gonna be
wanted to do.
fabulous. So
But I think it'd be
the
cooler
young
to do that
kids
than what I was
tonight
planning on
aren't the
originally.
only ones getting an opportunity. There's some young
We'll go to
broadcasters
the
out
women's
there
grand
that
final. I
will be
guess if it's in
cool.
Melbourne,
I'd love
probably.
to be a fly on the wall and see some of these audition tapes as well. I reckon
They're
there'll be
not
some absolute crackers come through.
That desperate for a commentator, I
So
don't
we're
think.
just waiting to see what the Bombers do here at pick number 70.
With pick 70, Essendon have selected Zach Johnson from the Northern Knights.
Wow, you'd be
and
happy
St
if you were
Mary
Zach Johnson at this
Greensborough
rate.
Junior Football Club.
And at the best and fairest.
Show the
win for
guy's
Northern
reaction.
Knights too. So had a
And he
wonderful
didn't
year
pass,
as a
Sammy.
Metro representative. It's a boy that can play in the midfield or across half back.
Surprisingly.
Love the way he gets through the traffic again. His composure's good with the ball in hand. He averaged 26 disposals a game, so prolific in that way. At the end of the year, had a bit of a shoulder, so he just didn't see him test. But yeah, I think it's his composure. I think he's been well coached there by Pebbles Rock, Anthony Rocker out there at the Northern Knights. And
I'd imagine
those
that's
boys that win best
Essendon
and
done
fairest
for the
and
day,
make
though.
it into Vic Metro are always got a sound foundation for an AFL career.
Yeah, a link-up type shifter. I like his capacity to give and go. He likes to keep speed on the ball. He's very, very good when he does come off half-back
think the
at lowering his eyes
Giants
and
might have
hitting that
also
lead
selected
up
a player as
forward.
well, or
So,
have they also passed?
You know, he's someone at 185 centimetres, a little bit bigger than what they've
No
currently
joke, this
got
time I
in
actually
their
know Pat
midfield,
said he
and
goes to my gym.
Maybe he is that missing link for the Bombers as he develops over
Who, that
over
Patrick
the course
said
of the
guy?
next couple of years. That
Once
you know,
again,
a little bit
another
of size
draft
and a
class
bit
where I
of
know
difference in there.
literally no one, apart from one person,
Zach
but I barely
Johnson
know him.
headed to Bomberland in the red and black, and let's head to the Giants now.
With pick 71, GWS have selected Logan Smith from the GWS Academy and the Queanbeyan Tigers AFC.
There we go. I think that's the first academy player for
204
GWS.
centimetres.
They'll be wrapped with this result. He was their Academy Player of the Year, and why not? the All-Australian ruckman with Dodson. They were the two boys chosen at that level. He played for the Allies. I watched him at close quarters there.
So they've got themselves a ruckman, which, you know,
I love his ruck
can't go wrong with an extra ruckman.
Young, at 204 centimetres. He cares about his little players at ground level. He follows up his ruck work, gets after it, creates space for the smaller guy. He can mark the ball round the ground as well. He's got a big body.
So West Coast have their next pick. If they pass here, they've got to be done.
Coming earlier, it would force their hand, so they're able to take him right at the back end. The Giants very happy with that. Another boy out of Canberra. I think that's
Essendon are done. West Coast, I think, also are done.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
They have to be it then for West
Coast.
Coast.
Perfectly there, and
Essendon are finished.
in support of their own academy.
We could be done here. This could be the final pick, 71.
I think it speaks volumes for the character within their list management group, and she's an all-Australian ruck selection at pick 71. Keep an eye on.
Was he the academy best and fairest, or was he? No, he was an all-Australian.
And if he turns out to be the last pick in this year's draft, it's a journey to follow.
And
Lucky
previously,
man.
the GWS Giants have selected Kieran Briggs as part of their academy selection. So
Essendon passed.
another ruckman who's made a big impact. So a good one for him to follow.
That's it. That has to be it.
Port Adelaide also out of the draft, and the Bombers have passed on this selection and looked like they'd packed up their little office. So I'm assuming that means that they've done for the night. Hands have been shaken, but we've got the Giants at pick 72 who have passed just that selection, so they remain alive in the draft but have passed that.
Why do West Coast have so many of these picks that are passing? What's the point? Just say you're done.
So we'll wait to see what they're up to.
What a fantastic couple of nights. We've seen some lower numbers, haven't we?
This is something I don't understand. I'll be honest as anyone.
Well documented, the depth of this year's draft and the quality of it. So to see 70 plus players be given an opportunity.
Most nerve-wracking. Yeah, but they still have a potential next year in the rookie draft, and you never know. Like, it doesn't mean that this is their final chance. They can always go again next year.
Local clubs especially. You think back to junior coaches and grassroots and the impact that those sort of people have on these young men, and I think the game's in good hands.
What the fuck is going on?
It's a marathon 2 days, isn't it, for the recruiting teams? It's their grand final. They've been studying these players for years and compiling the lists, and
still you want to get taken when you've known. Well, obviously,
with the senior coaches and the coaching staff to work out what the club needs.
But like,
and then being able
if you're not even near the
that.
top 150, 200, like you can't be surprised when you don't get picked up at all. Because 1,000 people are nominated, so you get nominated but really have no chance.
Overseeing those two groups.
Awesome.
They've done a fantastic job.
The West Coast Eagles are officially out, so all those passes have led to them exiting the 2024 draft, and they'll be pretty happy with what they've been able to secure. A few players that were
only had 2 draft picks.
According to our rankings.
Yeah, very, very happy to get a couple of
one of the lower teams, I guess, in terms of. I think Hawthorn also with 2.
Obviously, Bo Allen, and we saw Hamish Davis, a late
Melbourne.
selection. So
no, they have
well
3.
To Matty Clark in his first draft, to Todd Nisbet, and just a shout out.
So they're packing up. So have they selected
you know,
anyone, or are they passing
here?
This is just confusing me a little bit.
Outstanding person within the football club, Trevor Woodhouse, who stepped away. He's been a profound person within the West Coast Eagles organisation for well over 30 years. And
what a surprise!
Trev all the best in just relaxing a little bit more and getting his weekends back.
So the Bombers officially on the clock there. We wait to see if they pass. They did pack up and shake hands before, so I'm taking that as a good indication that Brad Scott's happy with what has been delivered his way.
Is that everyone? I think it is.
A lot of pressure on the Bombers this year to deliver, and that finals hoodoo continues. So hopefully for Brad Scott and the Bombers, they've been able to get some players that can contribute.
And then we can quickly wrap things up
in years to come. So
if I didn't freaking have work tomorrow, I probably would have done something after a little bit.
Flicks things across to the GWS Giants with what should be getting towards the end of this 2024 national draft. It's been a marathon 2 nights. over 3 hours on both nights to make
6
sure
hours
that we're
that's taken.
getting these
If this is all
kids,
done in one night, we'd
their
be here
moment
till
in the
1,
sun and
theoretically.
some fantastic stories and some fantastic dreams made.
Wonderful to see Emma Quayle in there, who become the first female to work in the male recruiting space. And to the girls out there that love their footy, gee, that's a growing area to get involved with. Talent ID in the AFLW space. We're
Giants
looking for
again.
people.
Could
We're
Giants go up pick
commentators, we're
72
looking for
maybe?
Scouts, people that want to get involved. We're trying to pick the talent.
Imagine it was
that want
one.
and play
Well, it used to
AFLW.
always be one night. And they used to go heaps of picks, but I guess they probably just didn't
Absolutely.
spend that much time on
Journalists for a long time in the talent space.
players in terms of the interviews and all that. I would imagine. I don't know how they managed to fit it all into one
what
night.
The Giants are doing pick 72
in under 3 hours.
We believe the pick is
4.
in. We suspect they may be passing. Not a great deal of activity happening in that room at the moment.
So if they pass you, that's the final pick.
Marvel Stadium. All the clubs in the boxes next to each other, so it'll be interesting watching them all depart. I'm sure there'll be some chats across the recruiting. It's a very competitive landscape.
Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream, because
I
you all
certainly
wanted
like
one
the vibe
from
about
yesterday.
At the end of a draft, whatever year it is, there'll be 18 clubs very happy with what they got.
It's hope, it's optimism, that's what we want.
It's beauty. It's beautiful to see, and most weekends it's 9 unhappy and very unhappy with the result. To see them all happy.
If I was the number 1 draft
these
pick,
players into their footy club pretty quickly.
draft pick,
For
I would
most, it'll
be
next Monday.
the biggest
They'll get a
wasted
chance
pick
to
of all
pack their
time.
bags and get ready to go. Normally about half will change states. They'll have to move around the country. A whole new life begins, and their hopes and dreams begin now of trying to make the grade, that step up to be somebody in the AFL and get their first game.
Yeah, we see the
So I'd wonder how many of these
there in
draft
shot
picks are going to
and,
actually get
obviously Stephen Wells
a
on
game,
camera,
or how many of these players
recapping
just
the
will never
Geelong
get a
draft
game,
and
end up getting
Brad
delisted.
Scott about to make his way out. So, like you said, Shifter, really, really well done by the clubs.
So that looks like it's it for the Giants. Let's head back to Laura Kane.
All clubs have now passed their remaining selections. The 2024 Telstra AFL draft has now concluded. Congratulations to all of the draftees, all of their families, and everyone
We're
who
finally
has
done.
supported them on their journey. Welcome to the AFL.
Why is she so happy about
Brilliant,
that?
good stuff. Thank you very much to Laura Kane there at AFL.
Why was she sounding so
headquarters.
happy
We are going
announcing
to
that?
take a short break to compose ourselves and make sense of everything that's just happened. But a big congratulations to all the kids drafted tonight.
Okay, if this AFL Talks kid wants a raid, he's got 3.5 minutes to try and salvage up something. He's ended, I think. Yeah. Well, has he? No, he hasn't. She gets paid more to smile. Yeah, they probably tell her to do so. Yeah, because it seemed quite ingenuine. Ugh. Well, oh yeah, Sates I think did all right. I'm not too disappointed with that. He hasn't ended. I'm giving him like 2 minutes, man. I shouldn't give him any time, but I will because it might be funny.
This spring, PulseBet will get hearts racing.
Could be a
Download
bit
the
funny.
app now.
What are you prepared to lose today? Set a deposit limit for free and
I say
confidential
don't
support.
rate him.
Call the number on the
Can't lie.
screen or visit
Only
the
if he
website.
does like a face cam thing. So I'm giving him 2 minutes. Otherwise, nah, he's not getting one. He doesn't deserve one because of what he said, but still, it's sort of funny.
Clean and protected with Ampol amplified premium fuel.
Yeah, draft is over. I'm about to wrap it up in a minute or two.
For over 60 years, Tefal has been making everyday life easier, tastier.
Why is he still showing it? It's finished.
That show you the right result.
I don't get it. Is the rookie draft tomorrow? Yeah, I won't be streaming it though. Probably won't even be watching it. Are we rating? I don't think we are. Let's be real. Doesn't deserve one. He's just been showing the actual broadcast and he's still doing it. He's still desperate for that small percentile of potential subs that he won't get because he's not actually deserving of it. I might just get you guys to put in your final thoughts, and then we'll probably finish things off.
What? I mean, I am really good beer.
Hoping I can get a review video out tomorrow as well.
You know, smashable. I'm not sure I do. Smashable. You know, I was voted best beer in Australia.
Raid Nikkei30 and see if he notices it all.
If you own a small busince, you know
I mean, that's probably more enticing than having an AFL Talks raid. I actually could do that. But you'd gotta get him. Is he live? He is live. I don't think I've watched Nikkei30 in my life. He only has 899 in chat. Oh, he's members only. I can't do that, Lockie. I was gonna say it's actually not a bad idea giving a massive streamer a raid to see if they notice, but that's probably not gonna happen. Biggest winner and loser. Well, I'm gonna have to do a little review on that. I reckon. I don't have a finalized answer yet. Okay, well, I'll wrap it up now. It is dead because what? I might end it is dead because I rested. Doesn't make any sense, to be honest. You begged for a raid. I gave you the requirements if you want one, and you didn't meet them. So I think that might be it. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and we'll see you soon. I don't think I'll stream this week anymore unless I do a member stream, but I'll make I'll have videos up. Have a couple of videos up. So yeah. See you everyone. Have a good one. Cheers.